Big up, everybody. It's Colin, one half of Talking Ball, and the other half of Talking Ball is right here, Mr. Tiago
Boom.
himself. What is up, man? My man, what's up?
Good. Still trying to digest everything that happened yesterday. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think we all are as
yeah,
Spurs fans around the world. Um,
true.
we've already got a couple people in the comments, so we'll say just
Ooh,
a quick what's up to everybody. Custom Spoons saying in Arsenal, so I guess they must have tied up or something. Is
yeah,
my best
agreeing.
guess.
Yeah, we need to
Uh,
wait until 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we do. But
Okay.
I think I was good. I didn't say anything. We got Nicholas Berry. Do we have to talk about Tottenham? Yeah, I know. Mark Swift, what's up? What's up, Swifty? Yeah, everybody, hit that like. Hit that like. It really does help. It's a nice thing. Bryce is here all the way from Australia. What's up,
Royce,
Bryce? What's up, Bryce?
good
And then
day.
we've got Kuva, and it's always good to have
Ooh,
Kuva around. Yep. What's up, my man? You're a good guy, Kuva. Thanks for being here. But yeah, so today, it's Thursday, so it's the tactics show usually. Today, there wasn't a whole lot tactically to talk about from the match yesterday. There's a little bit, but not much. Um,
yeah, I mean,
but we do have,
it's
but there are some things to talk about.
yeah,
Um,
it's hard to talk about tactics after what happened after the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird one. It was a weird one, especially. And I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get into this, but especially for a manager who talks about not being emotional, who talks about being, using sense and logic and knowing how this is a process, and it's like he's saying things, but he's not, acting them. So it's weird. What's up, Carl? Carl's here. We
Dominic,
got Danny. Big up, Danny.
you got Danny.
Looks like Arsenal
Yeah,
won. That
yeah, I saw that.
sucks. That sucks. But yeah, man. I don't know, Tiago. What did you make of the comments? And can I tell you a really bad secret? I tuned out. Like as soon as that match was over, man, I turned it off. And I've been on Reddit today.
Yeah,
I've seen
me
some
too.
things, but I didn't watch the post match conference in full. So I'm kind of here to learn. Like as much as I can from you and everybody in the chat, even just to kind of figure out what was said. Are we overreacting? Is the sky falling? What's the deal, man? Tell me how to feel.
Um, I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. I think the most important thing we have in life is the um, capacity and the opportunity to have our own opinions and our own views and how we feel. So I'm gonna leave it to you because opinion is personal, and for me that's what makes the world beautiful. Everybody has its own opinion, but yeah, I think the general consensus is that we're all depressed and not really surprised with how we lost. Uh, and to be honest, I did the same as you. As soon as because actually my stream was late, so I got a spoiler from Twitter that the game was over. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Oh, 4 minutes only. I turned it off, and yeah,
No, I was the same. I was the exact same way. Yeah, it was ugly, and I just didn't want to see any more. It, and
these guys.
it wasn't even so ugly. It was just unlucky and annoying, and you know it,
Yeah, I mean, it was not surprising because everybody was saying. I think on Monday, the show did on Monday. I didn't stay the whole show because I had a problem with my internet. But in the beginning, I said it would be so Spursy if we beat Man City and lost to Burnley. Everybody was saying it because we know that that's a real possibility, and it happened. Unfortunately, it happened again, and yeah, it's
you know
just
we always do the Spursy thing. We always do. And if I was smart, I mean, if I was a betting man, I would have put money on Burnley because you're right. It's just what we do all
yeah,
the time. We show up.
yeah,
We tend to show up
yeah.
for the bigger. We tend to show up for the bigger teams, but not really for the Burnleys and the.
We're gonna play United away in a few weeks. Against
I,
United, you put the money on us, The next game, you put the money on the team you're playing against. Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
it's Norwich. Put the money
right.
on them. It's like, but if we Kuva saying it's the end of the world right now, but if we win at least, then all's good and the double is back on. Obviously, look,
And that is
that's how
how.
the fan base is behaving. And knowing Kuva, I don't know him much, but from what I've seen from Kuva, of course, there's irony in it, and he's just spot on. We beat
Yeah.
Leeds and top four is on, top four is back.
But
We're winning the
I
FA
think
Cup.
Conte's reaction. I think the things that the press have dug up and the quotes, the little bits that they've taken out that suits their agenda. I think it's got everybody riled up. I think they wanted to rile everybody up. I think they achieved it. And yeah, do you agree? I mean, it seems. It seems kind of like it was tailor made to get us all worked up like this.
I think, I mean, I, I've been saying this since yesterday because I've put my feelings and my opinions on Twitter today. It's I don't understand because everybody is is criticizing that we don't have someone to just say things how they are, and when someone finally does it, it's overreacting is wrong. The guy needs to take responsibility. It's all a mess. It's all a mess, and I think Luca 14 has made the perfect comment. Who else can do 4 defeats in one win, with the one win being Man City away?
Only Spurs, and somebody here that knows a lot about only Spurs and probably nothing else. Barry,
Barry,
How are we, chaps?
what's up, my man? How are you doing?
Barry Phil Grant. I don't know how to say the name after Grant.
Seamus.
Almost.
How? Wait, shit. Fucking hell. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
We just like exploded his brain, Barry. Like he can't even. Don't
Shay,
ask us. Don't ask us to explain it. Yeah, we can't. We can't tell you why SEA sounds like there's an H in there, but it does.
I, for
So
example,
until hey,
age in
so
Portuguese
hey,
has no sound. So
mm, hmm, language, very strange.
language.
So Barry, I just asked Tiago before we really like kind of jump into dissecting what was said and which is kind of our plan, I think. I just wanted to ask you: do you think the media is purposefully working up the Spurs fan base because they know they can and that we're easily worked up, or do you think that Conte's comments actually warrant this sky is falling, type of reaction?
Yeah, so yeah, first of all, it's the media being the media. I think, with everything that happens, it's, the Y word, the spur on the badge, the everything else. It just needs to be everything else, right? So yeah, part of me is it is what it is. Part of me thinks it's, Conte is saying to the board, give me the tools and I'll give you what you want. But without the tools, I can't do what you want me to do. So, it's like giving someone who's in the trade, someone that's a bricklayer, but not giving him the cement to build the house. It's look. We've just spent 2.5 hours not talking about Spurs, so it's been quite
It's
nice.
been nice.
It's been quite, like we normally. I mean, we talk about it at the start, and then we go off on a massive tangent. So, look, I think, yeah, look, it's not being it's being blown out of proportion by the media. But what he's saying is true. Whether it's the right thing to do it in that time and place, people will agree. Like the legend that is Bob Spurs said, he should have, he should be doing it in house and not, putting it out in the media. But he will always do what he wants to do, right? And we should like we should. We should like the players. Unfortunately, we should back them, all of them, and we should back the manager and trust that what he's saying is the right thing for our club. So whether that is or not is, they're in that position. So we'll just have to wait and see how that sits. But yeah, look, let's just see.
That's probably like the best take I've heard. That was very nuanced. You had, I mean, that was rational. You didn't seem like you were freaking out. You didn't seem, I don't know. I like that take. That's nice. And also the biggest of ups to Bob Spur. Saw a post on Twitter today that he was up and out of bed, and that's amazing. That's the biggest step, bro. I don't know. Just can't wait to have you back. Piss off, Bobby. Piss off,
Oh, we
Bobby.
said it at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
You owe me jinx.
Wait. Because we have the connection. That's it. Boom.
So, can we put up? Hey, is it time to put up my banner yet, Tiago?
Which one? Oh no, in the end.
Okay.
Let's dive into the quotes first.
Yeah, and we actually, so Tiago went through all the trouble to actually get the quotes for us so we can have them on screen.
It was literally copy and paste from Football London, so not much of a job, but I appreciate the compliment same way.
I didn't do it.
I did do this.
I wasn't going to do it.
I did do this though.
We appreciate it.
So
it's beautiful.
Starting from the start, from the beginning, this is what Antonio Conte said. This was his first answer in the press conference. The reality is this, that we lost 4 games of the last 5. No one deserves this type of situation. The club, me, the players, and fans. But this is the reality. I came in to try to improve the situation in Tottenham, but maybe in this moment, I don't know. I'm not so good to improve the situation. He also said, but the problem, I repeat, I'm trying to do everything to change the situation, but the situation is not changing. Someone has to speak about the race for the 4th place, and the reality from the last 5 games is we have to pay attention to not fight for the relegation zone. Barry, going back to you, relegation zone, isn't it maybe a little bit too harsh to say?
Well, not really, because if you look at he's talking about the last 5 games, and if you put the last 5 games and we've only won 1, that's relegation form, right? So, if for example, if we get to the summer, Conte's not backed, Conte walks, Kane goes, Son goes, Romero potentially as well doesn't come, sign a permanent deal, and then let's be realistic, right? It could happen. If that happens, it could happen. The way that the team and everyone else is playing at the moment. I just look. We're talking about things that, and based on the result that's happened tonight, anyone else that mathematically, yes, we can still get 4th place, but Arsenal are certainly in the driving seat now after getting that 95th minute winner. With their games in hand, right? And
we've shown the whole world that games in hand doesn't mean dick. Like, you could have a jillion games in hand, and it just doesn't, So that's at least something I'm holding on to, and the fact that it's Arsenal, and so they'll inevitably drop points where they shouldn't, just like any team. I mean, that's one thing, is you can look at the table, you can see, with your eyes, you say, oh, Arsenal plays Burnley, or Arsenal plays, whoever, and you can say win for Arsenal, but that's not necessarily the case.
True. That's true, because look, right, everyone is fighting for something at the moment, and the games that most of the teams have got to play, and I think Sean Butler had it up, and they're either playing the teams in the bottom 6 or they're playing the teams in the top 6, and they're all fighting for everything, right? So, the ones in the middle, they're kind of they're safe. They're not all right. They're not going to have checked out already and thinking of their summer holidays, right? But every game in the Premier League is tough, and that's what we need to remember, right? Yeah, Cuba, 38 games in hand at the start of the season. It never seems to work out for us. No, of course it doesn't. And we're very fickle as fans in the fact that we went on that run, and then then we got games in hand, then we're above Arsenal. Then all these different things kind of go against us, and they normally go against us, whether it's postponements, whether it's COVID games cancelled, whether it's everything else. Lasagna, yeah, exactly. Everything in VAR, anything and everything that could go wrong.
Handball rules that change. Two different handball rules that change, mind you, if you remember correctly. So I don't know, but then I also have to remember too the times that we've been lucky. Some VAR, sometimes VAR has helped us. Champions League quarterfinal, was it?
True.
True. Yeah, and so but
we
no.
could say, for example, against Leicester and Watford, we were lucky to get a goal in the end. I mean, because against Leicester, the ref could have blown the whistle after Bergwijn scored the equalizer, but
right,
he kept going. My problem here is he's saying he's trying to change the situation. Situation is not changing, and when he says we have to pay attention to not fight for the relegation zone. Of course, everybody knows he's not really talking that we're going to fight against Watford and Norwich.
Right.
That they were going to be in the relegation fight. Well, I hope that's not what he's saying, because that would be really bad. But beginning of the season, everybody was saying, when we didn't even have a manager, everybody was saying, doesn't matter who comes in, if there's no rebuild, if there's no quality players coming in, this squad is nowhere near good top four. So now that we're not getting top four, why is everyone mad? Why is everyone sad? Why is everyone surprised? We knew that all along. So isn't it a problem of us overrating these players yet again, like we did under Jose last season, like we did under Pochettino when things were going bad, that we were still saying, no, these guys should be fighting for the Premier League title, even though Pochettino was saying we needed to rebuild. I mean, isn't it the case? Maybe didn't we overrate the run in the beginning of his tenure here? Maybe that's what he's trying to say. Maybe we need to manage expectations, because our expectation at the beginning of the season is a write-off. So
yeah, no, I'm still torn. You're right. He obviously doesn't think that we're in any danger of actual relegation. That much is clear. And I do get what he's saying, and what Barry pointed out. Like we are in relegation form. We're losing against teams that are towards the bottom of the table. So something needs to change. And I think this is pure speculation, and it actually I'm stealing it from Shelfside Spurs. But they postulated that he got some news about Bentancur's injury after the match, and that frustration kind of boiled over into the post-match interview, and that made a lot of sense to me. That really seemed plausible. It explains the doom and gloom. It explains why he's so negative. And if Bentancur is really out for a long time, like it looks like he might be, that's a humongous blow, because that means we it's a Winky and Højbjerg probably in midfield every single game until they fall apart. So yeah, it's not. I mean, I could see how you're like, well, I have two central midfielders now. Great. I could see wanting to storm off and say I fucking quit. But hopefully he's got his tantrum out. He's good. He's put his pants back on, because he just like took his pants off. That interview was the equivalent of just like taking your pants off and just holding them above your head and running around. Like it was just like I'm throwing a tantrum, and hopefully now it's done. And he's good, and they can go back to work. And because he's as much as people say he'll just walk if things don't go his way. Yeah, I mean, he will. He's shown that he will. But I think if he walks at the first sign of trouble or things becoming hard at Spurs, I think that'd be a bad look for him. I think it would make him look a lot weaker than he perceives himself to be, and I don't think that he would want to portray that or to give off that. You know, I I'm I made another a banner for it too, but why would Conte come to Spurs in the first place? We have to think about that question. If we're gonna think about him leaving, we have to think about why would he even come? And and if he came to Spurs, we know what's going on at the club. We know the state that the club's in. There's no way that this guy that's one of the top managers in world football doesn't understand like where Tottenham is as a club right now. And so I just think it's naive maybe of the fans to think that we've somehow like duped this footballing genius and that he's ready to walk because things aren't how he you know you guys get what I'm like came to Spurs if things are already so bad that he's going to walk. Like he knew that things were shitty.
Yeah, but I don't think he realised
How shitty?
Yeah, on a scale of
Yeah.
on a scale of shittiness, it's pretty shitty, right? But I think like you said, we know it. Part of it was he thought, Paratici is there, and then he thought, okay, we're gonna, we're gonna do some business, and I think, it's all about the translation, right? And we're, not talking about getting lost in translation, but losing 4 players, regardless of whether they were near the first team, regardless who they were, losing 4 and getting 2 in is weakening the squad, regardless of whether they weren't playing, regardless.
Even if let me just question it this way though. Even if Conte said I don't want those players around because they're like bad for the team, like morale, or I think in that case, which I think was sort of the case, you could argue that getting rid of the players was like a net good. I think if the players were causing trouble and were not being professional, and so bringing down the level of training and I see exactly where you're coming from, but I'm trying to frame it positively because I want it to be positive because it's like wishful thinking, I guess. But
Well, I think that interview with Sky from Italy, he said in that interview, I've now realized the real problems. And I think the point we need to remember is that there are things he's not going to be able to see if he's not at Spurs. You see the outside and you can see some problems, but there are other problems that you only see after you go into the club. Like you hear what Daniel Levy is like, but we don't know what he really is like until we work with him. Maybe he's worse than people say he is. Maybe he's not as bad as people say he is. We don't know. We don't work with him. And I think that's what Antonio Conte is trying to say. He knew the situation was bad, but he didn't know it was this bad. And now he's trying to save us. He's trying to do something to improve because it's his nature. It's his nature. He's not just gonna come here, sit and settle for finishing 5th, 6th. He wants to win.
Yeah, if you you come in and you're wowed by the stadium, you're wowed by the training ground, you're wowed by all these things, right?
Harry Kane being there.
Yeah. And you're wowed by all these things, and it's not like putting blinkers on, but I just think that part of it is that now he's like Iggy was saying earlier, he's laying the foundations now to say we're not waiting until the 30th of August to do our deals. I want them done early. I want them in for pre-season, and I want us to hit the ground running. If I don't get this and everything else, that is when he's going to start. That's when he'll walk because he's laying the foundations now. He doesn't like he said, he doesn't like coming in mid-season. He wants a full pre-season with him. So he's saying to the board, I will do what you want me to do, but you need to do what you need to do as well, and we need to get it done early because he's not, and we've all probably had it in life, right? At work or in sport or anything else. If you're used to winning games or being successful, then all of a sudden something happens. You're like, shit, is this me? Is this, is it me?
Yeah.
Am I the problem? I don't understand. I'm so used to having this, 60+% win ratio. I've lost 4 out of the last 5. I don't know what else to say. Maybe he's, we've got those players and the way that the club has got him thinking, doubting himself, doubting that ability, and he's thinking, I don't know what to
maybe
do.
I'm not. He said, maybe I'm not so good. He said that in the press conference yesterday, maybe I'm not so good.
I think I don't want to say mind games. It's not Jose Mourinho style stuff, but I think that was a little bit of him trying to shift the blame off the players, trying not to, I think he sees how fragile a lot of our players are emotionally and personally, and so that was like damage control in a way to not slam the players and blame them solely for the performance. That's just my takeaway from that. I think Conte. I think Conte knows that he's the shit. I think he knows that he's wonderful and one of the best. And so, you guys have to be right. You shelf side boys about the Bentancur situation because he's like integral to the way that we have been playing the last couple of matches. Yep. He like completely changed the way that our midfield played. And I think Conte was finally. I think he was very happy with that. I think he was happy with that transfer. Whatever he says and whatever anybody says, I think that he was pretty happy with that transfer window, honestly, because those two players both walked directly into our first team. They've both already contributed in major ways. I think that transfer window was pretty decent. But yeah, losing Bentancur is going to be real bad. I did say that this next game against Leeds is one where I would play Winks, just like to rest Bentancur anyways. So he wouldn't have.
Scott and put a.
And hey, Barry, can you get the link to Kuva by chance?
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. My phone's in the other room.
He likely thought Levy would work with him to fix the team as needed, but then saw all he gets is second-tier Juve rejects, and even he can fix the team under those conditions.
Those second-tier Juve rejects walk directly into our team. What's that say about Spurs? And then they also impact the Premier League. So I mean, I don't think that them being second-tier Juve rejects is actually like a fair description of those players. But anyway.
But if they are second, but if they are not, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think they are second-tier Juventus players. I just think they don't fit what Allegri wants for the team, for Juventus. But if that's the conception people have that they are second-tier Juve rejects, if they are rejects and they coming straight into our team, doesn't it say something about us as well? Because don't we want to be competing against Juventus in the Champions League, and their rejects just start as soon as they start? So.
Barry, if you could send that to Aaron too.
Yeah,
I love you forever. My phone's just in the other room, but no, I know exactly what you're saying. What you're saying, Tiago, but I just feel like he had to have known. I don't know.
I agree with.
It says Spurs squad is terrible. Neither guy gets into a top 3 Premier League team, and that is the level Conte wants to get to. I don't think that
jump with the club as he wanted to. I agree with Luca. Conte has said this. And this is the biggest problem for me that I'm going to explain more later, in my opinion. But I think it falls down on Daniel Levy, and I'm going to explain why. Because my opinion, honest opinion, is from what Daniel Levy thinks this football club should be like, Antonio Conte was definitely not the right signing for us. And I'm going to explain why. So don't think I'm saying Antonio Conte is bad, because I'm not. Because I love the guy. and he's the best thing that happened to us. But for me, he's the wrong appointment, given what Daniel Levy thinks this club should be like. So,
No, I get you. I get you with the whole, buying youth versus youth that are going
uh,
to improve and then their value will rise. We're not quite like
and,
a Southampton
yeah,
level selling club, but we do try to buy players young and cheap, and then get their value up and then move them on. And
well,
Conte
oh yeah,
wants
sorry.
wants the finished article, and so did Mourinho, and we weren't going to do it for him either. And I don't know.
Uh,
I just don't feel like. I don't think that Conte is stupider than any of us, and so I don't think that he was duped by Daniel Levy. But we'll just have to wait and see. None of us will
yeah,
ever know. I mean, I guess we'll see if he extends his contract. I mean, if he extends his contract, or sticks it out and wins us a trophy, or but it's all conjecture at this point. There's
and I
there's no
just
way.
and I just want to say, Antonio Conte, when he was at Juventus, he walked in the middle of preseason because he was not getting the players he asked Juventus to sign. In the middle of preseason, literally, he just, yeah, okay, you're not gonna give me the players I want, bye, and he was gone.
And
So
then he comes to Spurs. I just don't know. I don't know. It's all weird.
yeah,
But
so I think we could. Well, Kuba's here. He's not with his camera right now, but soon he will be, and of course he's gonna join the conversation. But I think, shall we go to the next part of the quotes? See
yes.
what else he said. So next one is, believe me, we are working a lot. We are working a lot. We are working hard every day. I think that we are doing everything to change the situation, but maybe it's not enough. And before we go to everyone, Cuba, welcome. How you
Evening.
doing?
Yeah, good here, good here. How about everybody here? Barry, long
Good.
time no see, mate.
Yeah,
I figured I'd get you two old chums together. It's been a while.
We haven't seen each other since at least half an hour.
We go
Yeah,
way
and-
back.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be just like old times too. You'll jump right
That's right.
back into it. It's how it always
Bros.
goes. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
summer of 35 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, those were good times, man.
Yeah,
Those were
the
good.
best.
The
best.
Oh.
Where is Brian Adams for that little intro?
So Cuba, I'm gonna throw you the first question. Here's the quote from Antonio Conte's press conference. We're working hard. We're working a lot. I think we're doing everything to change the situation, but maybe it's not enough. For you, what is he trying to say here?
That's just standard, all managers say it sort of stuff. I don't see there's nothing to really read into that. It's just obvious. That's what you do, isn't it? I think this is just the build up to saying, oh, we're not down tools or anything, but we're going to keep plugging away. But it's the rest of it's the real issue. I think this one's just you could see this come out of the press office, any club in the world.
Yeah. Barry, do you think that maybe Conte is just saying, okay, we're working hard, we're trying everything, but the reality is we're shit. There's nothing I can do. These players are just not good enough. Do you think that's what he's trying to say, or do you agree with Kuva? It's just box office PR, just
Well, I suppose you wouldn't have the, but maybe it's not enough bit on the end, would you? I mean,
Right. That's the bit that I was going to say.
Or it's just adding a bit of realism to it for me.
Right. Yeah. I think that it could be taken as another sky is falling type of thing if you wanted to take it that way. But should you? Is that how he meant it? Is his English good enough? You know what I mean? I think there's also the language barrier. I think was this interview done in Italian or English? I think this was done in English. So yeah, there's absolutely a language barrier. Like without a doubt, there's his English is not close to as a person who's like natively speaks English. And so he will he has some like isms, some things he does and says a lot, and I don't think he. It's not that he doesn't know what he's saying, but he doesn't choose the correct words at times, and so I think that this is kind of one of those situations, maybe. But yeah, I get he could I guess be saying maybe we don't have enough, like maybe we don't have what it takes, like squad wise, to maybe that's what he's saying. Maybe that's what's not enough. But I don't think that's it.
Perhaps that is the challenge to the players. That part. I mean, you can read it that way, or you could just be look at it as an acceptance, as we're not going to win the league this season. It's going to be very difficult to win the cup as well. That's where we are at the moment. We're just working hard, but it's don't expect miracles, sort of thing. It's
So you think he falls more to the narrative he was saying before, that he was asking for patience? Because he's been saying that a lot. I need time and patience to work with the team. Do you think that that's the road he's going for here then?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
manage
so.
expectations.
sorry,
Yeah.
shall I answer? I'll answer while Barry's sorting
I'm
out.
trying to sort this bloody link out. My
No
phone's-
worries. I'll go. I'll go then. Yeah. I mean, he could
Thank
be
you, Barry.
alluding to it
Thanks,
being
Barry.
patience, but it's he made the point of also earlier in the season saying he's not a magician, so it's playing down everything. We can't expect what we've seen in previous clubs with Conte, like Chelsea. He walks into a club that's basically won the league 2 seasons before he arrived. They've got the basis of a very good team there. It's not that case here, quite clearly. We all knew that. So he's just reaffirming it and, saying you can't expect the league title this season. His first season, he's had no pre-season. He's hardly got to know the players before the transfer window comes up. Appears to be some people might argue a few panic buys off Juventus at the end. I don't think it's quite panic, but it's a little bit convenient, isn't it? It's like it's a go-to for Paratici rather than something we've been chasing for a long time.
Hey Barry, I just want to tell you, you don't have to keep working on the link anymore. I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. I didn't mean to cut anybody off. I saw you working really hard, and I thought.
Yeah, he was trying to catch another pigeon to send, because he sent one to Kuzo. Now he needs another one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. My phone.
Aaron, I'm posting this, but I'm gonna delete it in a bit. So get it quick.
I think before we keep on this subject, because I think there's another bit that we should bring to see if it changes anything. This one. It was a difficult night, and it's not only tonight. In the last 5 games, we have lost 4. The players are always the same here. The club changes coaches, but the players stay the same, and the results do not change. I cannot accept it. So, is he really not thinking about saying these players are not good enough? Because for me, it's if he thought these guys are really good enough, he wouldn't be doing a Jose and saying same players, different managers.
Yeah, I think maybe
good.
it's talking their mentality. No, they're like Scott's just put. He's saying it's a skill issue. It's not a will issue. So maybe it's their mentality. The players' mentality stays the same. The results don't change because of their mentality. They're not good enough. The players that you're signing are not good enough. That's what That's how I think. That's what I think he means. Obviously, yes, there are some players that are still there from before, but they have changed. It's them. I mean, look at Cesc, for example. For some reason he gets past that halfway line and then just like, oh my god, I don't know what I should be doing, or I don't want to make a mistake in case I'm going to be subbed off, or I don't know what I should be doing. So it's they know what they should be doing, but they don't know how to execute it in the way that Conte wants. Maybe that's how I read that.
Yeah, I mean, Conte wants the very best, doesn't he? He's not going to accept anything less than that. Our players clearly are not the very best. So for me, this is a clear sign of Levy get your hand in the wallet and get me some players.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
Look,
You know
I
what
mean,
completes this?
literally, it's there in black and white, or blue and white in this case. But the club changes coaches, but the players stay the same. So literally, it's not going to matter that he's here because he's just one of those coaches that gets changed. But the players are the same, and the results are the same. So there's your correlation.
So I cannot. So what do we read out of the "I cannot accept this" line? So is he saying I cannot accept this? Like I'm out. Like is that why? Is that what people
change it or I'm out? Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt about it. Conte is going to stay around here for 5 years of rebuilding. He's going to want bang bang straight in there. I want more trophies. Thank you very much. He's greedy for them. It's exactly what you want to have at your club. Trouble is, we got a chairman who's exactly what you don't want at your club.
Yeah. And do you know what completes this? He also said, "I think Tottenham called me to improve the situation, but the thing."
Well, it's okay, but to be honest,
I'm too honest. I'm too honest to close my eyes and to continue to say, okay, I want to finish the season in this way, and okay, my salary is good. But I'm not this type of person. I have ambition. I'm a person who has ambition. I hate to lose. And when we lose, I repeat 4 games in the last 5 games. And for me, I repeat, this is unacceptable.
I love how much he says I repeat. He repeats a lot, but I like it.
I think this sums up what Kuva said perfectly. Conte is here to win. He's not here to just sit around and wait for another lightning in the bottle, like Alexander likes to say that the Pochettino era was for us. He's not here to wait until the stars align and we have a good squad. He's here to get the best players from the transfer market, put them in a team, in his system, go out there, win games, get a trophy, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Yeah, and I don't know. So real quick, I wanted to introduce our newest member of the panel, and it is everybody's favorite Irishman, Aaron Dubb. What up, bro?
Yeah, brother, I'm good. And right, to just bring it down to a few words, Conte was straight in with no kissing. All right, there was no mucking about there in that interview. He specifically was pointing out that he didn't get the backing he wanted in the transfer window. I know there's a lot of people happy, me included, that the deadwood was removed. But, bringing in 2 players in positions that weren't priorities. I look, he's a bit cryptic the way he speaks, but at the same time, you can read between the lines. Like the boy's direct, and we've got to admire that about him. I know a lot of people were saying that he was going to walk today, but nah, mate, not for me. He's going to stick around and see what happens in the summer. I don't think he'll just, walk out after a few months.
Yeah.
I think he's forcing the issue. He's forcing the issue. This is basically telling the board, either you back me or I'm out of it, because the trouble is, Levy and Conte are diametrically opposed. Levy is all about just settle for mediocrity and keep the cash cow coming along nicely. That's all he wants. That's all he cares about. Conte doesn't give a damn about the money. He just wants the players in to do the job and bring the silverware in. He's almost rabid about it. He's just intense when the need to win things. Everybody's
got their drug, man, and his drug is winning. Yeah. That's
it. He's going. It is literally unacceptable for it. He's not going. He's saying he is not going to just close his eyes and put his fingers in his ears and pretend everything's okay. He's going to speak out. He's just basically saying, my outbursts, it's take it or leave it. This is what I need, and I'm letting everybody know, and you can't squirm out of it. If that's not good enough for you, then get rid of me. It's a challenge to the board.
He was also a fan. He was a fan when he said that to me. He was representing what us fans feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I absolutely admire what he said. I'm not gonna, like I said, I love Italian drama. I watch a lot of them, and I don't want to stereotype, but they're very dramatic people, by nature, as are the Irish. Okay, and we say things sometimes that get taken out of context.
Or you're
And
like mad or angry, and so stuff kind of you just like explode and
yeah,
you
and
say
it's hard to control, Colin. It's hard to control at times, you know.
yeah.
But
And
look,
I
lads,
sort of think
I
that's
think
what happened here. You know, he just got excited, and like the good people of Shelfside Spurs were saying, it seemed like he probably got the news about Bentancur's injury and it just had enough. I honestly think that would be enough after that loss to really set him off. The one player that had been making us like look like a lot better of a squad, really, is now out for at least a couple of games.
I thought it looked like an ACL. To be honest, I thought it was an anterior cruciate ligament that he had done the way he went down, but then he was holding his thigh, so that's a lot better than an ACL. Like
Yeah,
according,
I was with you, Aaron. I thought the same.
according to Paul Keefe, at least 3 weeks for Bentancur to be out. And no skip, which means Winks starting every game for the foreseeable future.
And Højbjerg. This is gonna be
we're
good.
done.
Top 4 gone right there.
Hey,
we are done.
maybe
come on, lads, Skippy back soon. Top 4 is on.
Yeah,
FA Cup.
Hey, yes, Aaron.
you play Skippy and Romero together. We've never lost a game or something. So
Skip, Dyer, and Højbjerg, we've not conceded with those three starting.
yeah, see,
Yeah.
there it is.
You see, they're the Dyer. I know Dyer gets a lot of stick, lads, but you can rewatch me on the Irish Hotspur 6 months ago saying this lad, he's a leader. You know, he organised. Now I know we're all saying it now, but honestly, man, I got to claim credit. I'm not one of those people who say I told you so, but fuck it, I told you so. You know, Dyer is integral to this team. Right? Yeah, and there you go, boys. And Højbjerg, I know he's getting a lot of stick. And Skippy, people say, "Oh, he doesn't create enough." But these are solid.
That's not Skippy's job. That's people that are ignorant to the game that say that Skippy's not creative enough. That's not what he's being tasked to do. You know, he's not.
So why do people think he would change anything for us? Because, for example, yesterday we didn't have a midfielder that could break Burnley's defense with a pass. If that's not what Skip can do, he's not going to change anything for us. We're going to be the same.
No, but no. When you're playing Burnley away in a typhoon, right, and you can't see the wind on TV, Tiago, right? These are the types of lads you need. Lads that are going to fight hard the way Burnley did, okay?
Well, Burnley's got like a championship level midfield, and they just go in looking for like they just want to kick the shit out of people. You know what I mean? We need like strong grafters. I feel like in the midfield against teams like Burnley.
I think it was a combination of things with Burnley because Højbjerg, I know he's a lot of people's favourite and they really rate him, but I don't think he's good enough for us in the long term. He's got fight about him, but he hasn't got any mobility at all. He's painfully slow, and you can run rings around him if you're just physically quicker and stronger. You get around him no problem at all. With Bentancur, I do rate. I think he's going to be a very good player for us. But for him, that's going to be his first real wake-up call to welcome to the Premier League. Burnley away on a Wednesday in those sort of weather conditions with a team that's fighting for their lives and very, very physical. He struggled to get the grips for that. But he did manage to beat them pressing him. He didn't crumble. Højbjerg did a little bit at times. But Bentancur, couldn't get his passing game going. He was struggling to get away from that really aggressive play in his face the whole time. It will come. But Winks and Højbjerg with any other team doing that, we've already seen what they're like as a partnership. It's horrendous. What do you do? Play with one midfielder? Just ignore it altogether, play long ball game and put them all forwards up front. Almost tempted to say yes at the moment.
Honestly, I would give a chance to Harvey White. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, even then, you're hoping, aren't you?
You're hoping, but I would. The problem is for me, we're going to talk a little bit about Leeds because the game is like less than 48 hours away already. But I do think we need to go through 5-2 because these guys, even though they're not at the best moment, they're gonna run, and we need people to crowd that midfield. And I would put Harvey White. He has a good left foot for free kicks, corners. His long passing seems good, something we need. I'll give him a chance. I mean, if we gave Harry Winks a chance, if we've been giving Harry Winks chances for 8 years, why not giving Harvey White a chance? And sorry for the noise in the background. It's my dad arriving with the
Oh,
car, so
you're
it sounds
good.
like an
Don't.
airplane. But
I didn't even hear anything. You're good, buddy. But
Again,
yeah,
I think it would help Harvey White an awful lot if Skippy is back fit, because he will do all the running. He's got the energy. He's got the box-to-box ability. He will do all that work that needs to get done. Let Harvey White have a little bit of fun, enjoy himself, sort of show us what he can do.
well,
So you don't put all the pressure straight on him.
that's a good.
Yeah,
That's
but
a really good
Kuva at the
idea.
same time, mate, you don't throw in a Harvey White or a Piscocci, for their pretty much debuts at Burnley away, in that kind of conditions when they're fighting for their lives, and we're going through a little bit of kind of what would you say, confidence issue. Like I wouldn't be introducing lads like that.
You'd blood a young Roy Keane, wouldn't you? But these are different sort of players.
Oh, jeez, mate, you could throw Roy Keane into sharks in the water in Australian Bricey, territory, and he'd still come out beating up a white shark. But,
even when he was a youngster, yeah, he just had that about him, didn't he?
But that's gone, Kuva. Like that. Sorry.
No, but then we're done with putting youngsters because we're playing against United, West Ham, Arsenal, Liverpool. They're all fighting at the top of the table. We still have to play Norwich. We still have to play Burnley again. We still have to play Everton. We still have to play Leeds. All of them in the relegation fight. I just mentioned 9 games we have to the end of the season. Then we're done. So there is no right game to put these youngsters. We have to survive with wings then.
We always knew it was going to come down to this. We were paper thin after the transfer window. It was always going to come down to injuries. First injury, and it's looking like that's going to cripple us.
Do you think there's any chance that Kulusevski gets moved into midfield and is played as like the more attacking of a midfield too, maybe even? And I can kind of see that happening just because we have more depth on the wings, and that's where we've been kind of playing him on the right. And I think that we could put Bergwijn or even Scott's favorite player Lucas over there, and then we could maybe move Kulu in towards the middle. I don't think that would be a disaster, and we could kind of see what he could do. I've been really impressed with him. I know that Bentancur has been getting more accolades, but I think that Kulusevski's been tremendous, really.
But then sorry to cut you off, but then you don't play a back 3 because if Kulusevski is going to move to the 10 and Lucas is going to play where Kulusevski is as a right winger, we cannot play a back 3. We're going to have to go back to a back 4.
My only criticism. Sorry, Tiago, carry on.
Yeah, and look, I wouldn't be 100% against it because for me, none of our fullbacks are suited to be wingbacks. All of them are bad. Emerson is bad. Doherty is bad. Sessegnon is bad. Reguilon, I had hopes he would be a very good wingback, but I'm not seeing much from him as well.
Honestly, I think Reguilon's looking pretty good. I think people are a little too harsh on him. Maybe I've seen people say that like Conquerella, is that his name? The guy that plays for Brighton. I've heard that people saying that he's having a better season than Reggie, and I don't really.
Yes.
I haven't seen I haven't looked at his numbers of like assists and everything, but
He's
I think
very good. Very, very good, actually.
There's one thing you can count on Reguilon to do, and that's every game he puts in at least 1 or 2 really genuinely quality crosses that you can lead to a goal. And if you're doing that as a wing back, you're worth your weight in gold. That's why Trent Alexander, he's always going to be the benchmark of it at the moment. And Cancelo as well. Cancelo, they're head and shoulders above people. But
Yeah, and it's because they're in teams where they sort of like how I think Conte wants us to play. They build up, and their creativity is mainly coming from those wide positions. You know,
they're going to stand out in literally any team you put them in.
Yeah.
That is what it's all about. That's what I think. Yeah, I think Reggie gets hard done by as well. I think he's a better player than he's given credit for. Defensively, he actually came on a bit this season. Has a few wobbly moments still, but I think the trouble is he has to live up to the reputation that he made when he first arrived, because he was sensational when he first arrived here.
He was, and I think part of that was how bad we had looked. I don't think that he's gotten any worse since then. I just think that as a team that we look better, and so he doesn't stand out as much by being the best out of a really shitty bunch. Does that make sense? I think that's part of the deal with Reggie. But
Aaron was gonna say something.
I was just going to raise something I observed, and it's only my opinion, but Kulishevsky's very left-footed, and his crosses, they're all lofted in, they're floated in, they're precision passing, and that's slightly concerning to me. I'd love to see the guy whip a ball with pace in with his right foot at times. Now, I've only, like I say, seen him since he joined Spurs. But I've watched his YouTube videos. Everything's very calm and composed. That's lovely. That's fantastic. When you're playing in the game, that's not like last night. And the Premier League is such a fast-paced kind of league. That's my only concern about Decky. That he's a little bit luxury. I don't want to use that expression, luxury player. But I just don't know. I'm on the fence when it comes to him. He's got so much ability, that guy. But I just don't. I don't like players that rely on one foot solely. And especially, I used to play as a winger, mate. So there's times you got to whip that ball in with pace, not turn back on your left foot and try and pick out the perfect pass all the time. You just got to.
And I think that could be maybe, and that's why he maybe would do better, I think, towards the middle of the pitch. But Barry has put in the messages that he needs to go get some kip. He's a sleepy bear. He needs to go get some
Yeah, I can feel myself just going. So
getting the long blinks in there. Well, hey, thank you for being here with us. And real quick, tell everybody where they can find you when you're not here.
When I'm not here, you can find me on a Thursday on Shelfside Spurs. So next Thursday we've got Steve Perryman.
That is huge. That's awesome, man. You guys, no one will want to miss that. Everybody that's watching, make sure you get to Shelfside Spurs next Thursday. What time?
7:30 GMT in the evening. So
right, awesome.
But seriously, this is like and subscribe and hit the notification bell on this channel. And the guys at Colin, Tiago, Aaron, Kuva, everyone that's here, Scott M, and the guys in the comments. We've all got this love for this club that drives us crazy, right? So let's see what happens. We could be pleasantly surprised on Saturday. But thanks for having me, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Yeah.
Hey, have a good one, man. Be safe.
Take care.
Before you go, prediction to Leeds, very quickly. Prediction to Leeds.
3-1 Spurs.
Liar.
What do you mean, liar? I think we're gonna have more space. I mean, it depends on what happens with Bentancur, but yeah, I think we'll win. I'm going to be positive for a change rather than being negative. So
yeah, fair play.
I like it. Yeah, we'll all try to radiate that positivity. But and he's gone, and just like that, he's gone in a flash. But okay, we're not going to do our predictions yet. It's not quite time. But
I just wanted to show, because I brought some quotes from other interviews and not only from Antonio Conte, because it seems some things are just kind of the same with different managers. For example, Jose, after the Newcastle draw, when asked why his first side have fallen into the I can't read it again, the habit of dropping points from winning positions, a trait not commonly associated with him as a manager, The Tottenham boss simply replied, "Same coach, different players." Jose Mourinho, after the Wolves defeat at home, at halftime we had 65% of the ball, and I was asking why did we lose the game, and our conclusion was only one: we are two good guys. You have to be nasty, you have to be aggressive, you need to be clever, you need to make the foul. Conte, was it? No, Pochettino. When you talk about Spurs, everyone says you have an amazing house, but you have to, but you need to put in the furniture. If you want to have a lovely house, maybe you need better furniture. And it depends on your budget if you're going to spend money. We need to be respectful with teams like City or Liverpool who spend a lot of money. We are brave, we're clever, we are creative. Now it's about creating another chapter and have to have the clear idea of how we are going to build that new project. We need to rebuild. It's going to be painful. And Conte also talking about this team being nasty. A strong team has to become nasty. During the game, you have to feel the blood of your opponent. Sorry, but I don't have any other words to explain. In my opinion, when you go into a game, one team leaves and another dies. You have to be available to do everything, but in a sporting way. You have to know that the game doesn't finish with two happy teams. One team is happy, another is unhappy. You have to try to be the team that finishes happy, celebrates all together, and then has a good atmosphere for the rest of the week, and then continue to improve. And I'm going to leave this here because I absolutely love this from Conte saying that you have to feel the blood from your opponent because I mean, yet another manager talking how our players don't put the effort, Kuva.
Yeah, it's that attitude. It's the ruthless streak. It's the if you couple of 2 goals up with 30 minutes to play, you don't just look to hold out for a 2-0 win. You want to punish the team. You're going to get your third, fourth, sixth, fifth, sixth goals. Keep at them relentlessly. Show them absolutely no mercy. It's no good being nice out there. You've got to take everything you possibly can. Every single goal matters. Every result matters. All 90 minutes of the game, you cannot let up for 1 second. It fits in with I mean, Dermot would love this. The old, in fact, I'm going back to a Bill Nicholson phrase, and he's saying about you've got to leave everything out there on the pitch. Basically, it was the you don't come in after 90 minutes utterly exhausted, then you can't say you've given your all. Conte wants that. He wants that maximum effort, maximum aggression. You do everything. You try and kill your... Yeah, boxing as well is a good example for it as well. The attitude you're supposed to go into matches, it sounds horrendous, but you're trying to kill your opponent. You're trying to... If you don't go in with that attitude, you're going to get beaten. Oh, you're quiet, Colin.
You're mute. Sorry, I was eating off camera.
Oh, it's okay.
That wasn't my sound there because things went weird there.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's weird that so many, like you were saying, so many managers have said this. How has this happened? I guess how have we accumulated so many players that aren't willing to fight or that don't care about the results, seemingly, or don't? How do these players make it to the top level without having that drive, that same drive and desire? And it seems like somehow over maybe a long period of time, this attitude was just fostered around the club of kind of like joking around, collecting your paycheck at the end of the week, and training and goofing around, and we're Spurs, so we don't really have to win anything. Expectations are not the highest. I don't know. Is that's just a theory I came up? I mean, I can't think of another good reason as to why we don't have any players that can graft or fight. That's why everyone was talking about how like we needed to get rid of Lamela, and like Lamela was not good enough. But Lamela had twice the fight of anybody that I've seen on the pitch this season. So. I mean,
we've a national sport in Ireland, and before you all laugh, it's called hurling, and that does not involve what happens to you after a pub when you've drank too much Guinness or whiskey. Okay, it's a game played with a wooden stick. It's a combination of, let's say, lacrosse and hockey. Okay, and the way you're judged is how much
What?
blood you have on you after you've played it and how many fingers you've broken. Right? It's a very aggressive, violent game. And I'm not
That's not a
advocating
sport.
violence.
That's war.
It's you should check it out, mate. GAA hurling. It's mad, mate. I didn't play it. My dad did. It was way too aggressive for me. But literally, these lads come out with swollen hands. They're covered in blood. They only started wearing helmets like recently, and they're not even helmets. They're just little plastic things over their head. But they give it their all, and they don't get paid money. It's an amateur sport. It's the most popular sport in Ireland by a long shot. But this is the attitude that our players lack. These guys, and you know, they get to London. They've got the bloody Mercedes. They've got their Rolls Royces. They've got their hairdresser, you know, down the road, giving them, you know, bloody Deli Alley haircuts, and it's just all, I don't know, man. They're soft. These boys need to go back to the days when they used to grow cleaning boots for the professionals when they were coming up through the youth ranks. The problem with Tottenham, we've got this wonderful youth academy, but they're made like they're given egos before they've made it. Troy Parrott, for example, that kid thought he was, you know, the bee's knees before he even fucking kicked the ball for us. I think it's something to do. The players that we're producing to the youth academy, the players that we're signing, it's all like they're Hollywood movie stars before they've even done anything. And yeah, man, I want these boys to be playing hurling again, not the Guinness and whiskey hurling that Irish people do after the pub.
Yeah.
Again, you know, from a background on YouTube, it's, you know, it's always going to come back to Tottenham Tantrum Gold and the nostalgia and the historical look at things. And I would say what we've lost is another one. It's another one we can quote Bill Nick. And you say any player coming to Spurs, whether it's a big signing or just ground staff boy, they've got to be dedicated to the game and dedicated to the club. And they've got to be prepared to work at their game. You can never be satisfied with your last performance, and you must hate losing. Now, how I'd apply that to what I see with our club at the moment is that attitude is not there. Even at the staff, I think players can come in with a good attitude and they'll see everybody's relaxing, they're taking it easy, there's no drive, there's no passion behind that. Even the staff don't do it because everybody at the club is used to coasting along. We're aiming for 4th place, we're aiming for top 6. It's never, we've got to win at all costs. We want the title this season and nothing's getting in our way. Now, back in the 60s, we had a very talented team that Bill Nicholson had built. It was just lacking a little certain something. And that certain something was when Dave Mackay walked through the door. Now, Dave Mackay was a beast of a player. Infamous photos of him grabbing the likes of Billy Bremner up by the shirt, threatening him, because Billy Bremner dared to tackle him after Dave Mackay had broken his leg in the previous season, I think it was. Anyway, Dave Mackay, when he breezed through the door, the attitude of everybody at the club changed. Danny Blanchflower was saying along the lines of, people used to play cards amongst each other. They have their little bets going on for and playing cards. And it was all a bit of fun, bit of banter. Dave Mackay comes in, and even those games of cards turned into cutthroat, win at all costs. You must beat the other people at the table. And that attitude spread to everybody. We have lost that. We've totally lost track of that. Other clubs seem to be embrace that, and we don't. It's too cushy at this club. We made it too nice, too friendly, and it's come from the top because Daniel Levy is not interested in winning trophies, just making money. And we have really lost our way badly.
Yeah, I agree. And I was saying earlier before we really jumped into the quotes, very quickly, Colin, if you look at Daniel Levy and how he thinks this club should be run, Antonio Conte is the wrong appointment. Because Antonio Conte is here to come, get the quality players through the door, win, and that's it. He's not here to come and sit and wait for 5 years until Brian Hill becomes a superstar. If that's how you're going to operate, why bring in Antonio Conte? Why wasting your money on him? Like, I love Conte, and I think he's the one who's going to take us to trophies, but it's not his fault he's the wrong person, because he's good. Antonio Conte is great, but if he doesn't fit Spurs, why bring him in?
Yeah.
And that's what makes me pissed, because Daniel Levy thinks his model of business is the best in the world. It isn't. It's a failed one. It's a business that has won one trophy in 21 years. Antonio Conte in 16-17 won the league and the FA Cup against Pete Pochettino. Like, the peak of the Daniel Levy model of business was 16-17, and Antonio Conte won against that team. He was better than Big Daniel Levy. So it blows my mind how Daniel Levy is stupid, and it blows blows my mind even more how people can really come out and say Conte is wrong, Daniel Levy is right. I trust Daniel Levy. He's the best person to trust going forward. I honestly don't understand.
Well, the thing is with Daniel Levy, it seems pretty apparent that he saw how Chelsea were doing things with buying players in, then loaning them out again and making a profit on these players, just because they had association with Chelsea, who were winning the league and winning the Champions League. These players would come in for, say, 30 million, he'd sell them on for 40 million. And it was just going on over and over and over again. Daniel Levy loves the look of that. Just buy a player in, get an association with Tottenham, sell them on for a profit. The thing he never took into consideration is the fact that Chelsea bloody win things. It's a big difference when you're buying a player off the reigning champions instead of somebody that's just like struggling to get top four in a season. Now, Levy just didn't seem to be able to see past that. So we're stuck in this groove of buying substandard players in the hope of making a profit on them. I mean, I like Brian Hill. I think he could turn out to be a cracking player, but it's definitely not what we needed, was it? We didn't need a left winger. It just smacks of Daniel Levy's operation of buy them in relatively cheap, sell them on for a profit. And it doesn't work. Look at Jack Clark, if you can. Does anybody know where he even is now?
Yeah, good point. I mean, he was 12 million or something, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
And about Conte, like what's Conte gonna do? Turn a bunch of fluffy little kittens into a fucking raving pack of Rottweilers? Like, it's not gonna happen, man. Without Levy actually getting him what he needs, we're stuck at this, man. We're stuck in this. Like we got a team of little, you know, who Bond the Scott is, or Bond the Cat is, Cuba. You know, like that's what we have at the moment. We've a team of Bond the Cats, mate. You know, and we need a team of Rottweilers. He's at Sunderland. Luca just popped it in there. He's at Sunderland, or Blunderland, as I like to call them. But anyway,
it's like
nice stadium. Let the team go to hell.
Poch used to say that you didn't sign to play, you signed to train, and I think that he was kind of doing maybe a decent job in changing the culture and changing the attitude at Spurs. And then whatever happened with him, you know, the players losing faith in him or whatnot. But I guess that was we should have. I guess looking back, and hindsight's 2020, but should we have fired Poch sooner? Did we let the rot go for too long?
It wasn't to do with Poch. It was to do with Levy. The fact that we signed nobody in 2 transfer windows. I mean, nobody does that because it's so bloody stupid. And all teams anywhere around the world, any sport, you know, you need a new influx of new blood to keep the team going. You've got to have players kept on their toes because the new wave's coming in through the door. If you're not on your game, you're going to be out. We just let it fester because we just didn't, because we met those little targets that Daniel Levy wanted, top 4, nicely in that little zone. The cash cow's in place. He's milking it. Everything's fine. Why bother spending money on extras when we don't need to? So short-sighted, it's untrue.
Yeah, I agree. And Scott M said the perfect thing for me. We should have kept Poch longer and backed him.
Yeah.
And I think, and Colin, we're talking about Poch changing the culture. I think the whole process actually happened with him, because when these players first came to the club, they felt like they had something to prove, because we were building something special. like we can win something here. But then they got so into they didn't win anything, but they got into a level that were put in such a high pedestal by the fans, and like they knew they were not going to be sold by Daniel Levy because, as Kuva perfectly put, they were doing everything Daniel Levy wanted: top four, big money, no real problems. Champions League nights. He built his stadium, fans spending the money and everything. We put them in such a high pedestal that we actually glorified them for winning nothing.
Yeah.
And now they fell in the comfort zone of like, yeah, we didn't win anything, but we were really good. We were the best team in the Premier League era for this club. We were in two title races. We played the Champions League finals, so we're good. You can't complain about us.
I mean,
And here we are.
there are times when, especially under Pochettino, we were so close to winning the league, and it's not guarantee you're going to push yourself over the line by investing at that point, but at least give yourself a chance and try it. We didn't do that. I mean, Newcastle famously years back when they had Kevin Keegan as manager, they were pushing Manchester United all the way for the league title, and Newcastle made this one signing of a player called Asprilla.
Tino Asprilla, Colombian legend, mate. Put bullets to the roof, man. Crazy dude.
Really skillful player and everything. And you thought, wow, that's a ballsy move. Just bringing a real game changer sort of player just to push you over the line. And that didn't work out for Newcastle, unfortunately. But the idea was sound. They just lost the chemistry a little bit when he came in. It's neither his fault nor Keegan's fault. It's very unfortunate what happened. But when we're getting close to winning the title, nothing. It's just, oh well, the squad's got us this far. Just let it go. We can keep pushing with this same squad. It's good enough. It isn't.
Yeah,
and that's the fact too that we were naive enough to think that team wouldn't get figured out. That's exactly what happened. Is that Poch's team and the way that he played got figured out, and that's on Poch as well. I mean, he should have changed his tactics. You know what I mean? Because he played one way all the time. He had no plan B. We all remember that. His subs were shit. He wasn't like.
I think he had a plan B. It was more subtle than some other people's.
Yeah, but lads, Leicester didn't have a plan B. They had a die-hard attitude that season. They won it, and we came close. That they had that
11, right?
What Leicester definitely did have was those game changers in Mahrez and Vardy.
Yeah,
we did not have that explosive speed of Vardy, and we didn't have the genius of Mahrez. Now, if we'd gone out and get maybe one really tricky player to sit in as a number 10, somebody that can challenge Eriksen for his place when Eriksen's not having a great day, you bring in somebody. It's the Eriksen, the David Silva type, somebody along those lines, just to mix it up a bit and just maybe they unlock those tight defenses when we couldn't get through them before. But we just did nothing. We deserved nothing after that.
If you look at City, at some point they had Bernardo Silva, David Silva, and De Bruyne all fighting for the same position. Yeah. 3 top quality players fighting for the same position.
Once we got rid of Paulinho, that's when I knew that we were going downhill. Yeah. We lost
a player. Brazilian players, man.
Right.
And then we go see Paulinho score like a 45-yard goal in China, mate. It was like,
and then go to Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, 2018, the World Cup, we were all putting our hopes on him. That was
that kind of points to a bit of a deficiency in Barcelona's recruitment program at that point.
And they just bought Aubameyang. Yeah, Barcelona they have problems with their.
Well, he scored twice on the weekend.
Well, he's playing in Spain. I mean,
I don't know if it was Harris who coined the phrase "oh boomerang," but I loved it.
That is nice. That is nice.
So we have some questions, and today's show is shorter than chatting sheet usually. So we're gonna go quickly around these questions because we have already talked about them a little bit. So just to make a conclusion of everything of what Conte said yesterday, Aaron, I'm gonna start with you. This first question, and then we're gonna go. Let's make an order for every question to make it easier. Let's go, Aaron, Kuva, Colin. Okay, we
Okay.
good? Let's
Sounds
go.
good.
So first question. Is Antonio Conte wrong in making such comments publicly?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit. Yeah, he probably should have reined in what he wanted to say, maybe being a little bit more subtle. But at the same time, he was reflecting what we all feel. But for a manager, a professional, an experienced guy like him, I think he should have toned it down. Was he wrong in what he said? No. But did he say it at the wrong time? Yes.
Kuba?
For me, no, fully back what he said. Fed up with Levy having a little hiding place. He's been called out now by the manager. Let him squirm. The manager said nothing the fans don't say. So Levy sorted out. You've been challenged. Sort yourself out.
I agree. Colin?
I'm kind of with Aaron in that I think what he said wasn't all that bad as, like with like what he meant, but maybe like, choose some better words or no ammo to attack Spurs with. We're already getting like smashed by the press and the media at every opportunity, creating stories of Conte wanting to leave and creating that narrative. And I think that he didn't do any. I don't think that's doing the team anything good. Don't do anything good for the team. And all this did was throw fuel onto those fires. So I don't necessarily agree with him making the comments he did.
Okay. I'm going to say quickly, I agree with Kuba. For me, the more he calls out publicly, the best. For years, we've been asking for someone to put it out there, what really happens at the club, and now we finally have someone that will do it. So let him do it. Lucas said, as Spurs fans, we kind of expected and prepared ourselves for the possible lows with the Burnley defeat. Following the euphoria of the Man City win for Conte, the Spurs experience really got to him. And the truth sets free, saying, Levy doesn't care though.
Levy will care when the cash cow falls out of its cradle. If we're on the brink of relegation, he's going to very much care then, because that cash cow dries up very quickly then. But
then it's almost too late. Then what do you do? I mean, then you need such a massive injection of cash, and
we already do.
Yeah, we needed it for years.
I'm just saying, if we get to a point where we're like relegation zone, I mean, we're screwed.
We're relegation formal at the moment. There's no denying it.
Yeah. No, you.
Now we're losing a key player again for a while.
And is it sad that a player that has come in January is become a key player for us so quick? I don't think that says great things about the squad in general.
No, it doesn't. But at least there's hope for the player, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I don't think he's running like Forrest Gump. I think he's just saying the truth. The squad is not good enough. He's not going to do magic. You can put Pep Guardiola, you can put Klopp. They will not make us Premier League winners.
Not in
They won't.
Anyway, not in one season. I mean, people forget that Klopp's Liverpool looked kind of shit his entire first season in charge. What did they get that year? Like not champion. I don't even think they finished in a Champions League spot.
But,
and so,
what was Klopp allowed to do? He was allowed to say that season that it's going to get messy and you better be prepared for it. He was allowed to say it. That's a negative way to talk about players, but he knew what he was talking about. He proved it.
Yeah, and if you even rewind to
that team, the only player he kept from that team is Henderson. Everybody else gone. He made a complete rebuild. He had the backing from Liverpool. You sign the players you want, you sell the players you want. The project is yours. Premier League and Champions League winner. How comes down to backing?
And what's Klopp got in common with Conte? They both don't put up with absolute shit. They want the chairman to go out and sign on some proper players.
Yeah.
What happened when Klopp asked for that? They win the league.
The backing is all we done. Aaron, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, yeah, and even going back to like myself and Kuva, like, obviously having been following football in the 80s, you rewind back to Alex Ferguson. I mean, the guy won FL for a few years and was given the time. But nowadays, like, it's so quick fire. It's so click a button. It's also internet.
Yeah.
Also, it's also FIFA. Just press a button and fix it. And I think a lot of fans, they kind of forget that teams take time to build, squads take time to build, managers take time to develop their squads and have an effect. But we all want instant success. So I agree with Kuva. Like, Conte needs serious backing, but also for me, like, he needs a lot of time to really get this right. That's what I just, again, and I go back to Ferguson. I'm no Man U fan, but man, he was given time, as was Klopp, and Ferguson went on to be.
Ferguson was nearly sacked, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron, next question, starting with you again. Reports were saying it was aimed at the players. The comments were aimed at the players. But which players do you think he's talking about?
I don't think he's singling any specific players out. I think we all know that we've got guys like Lloris, Kane, Sonny, Højbjerg, and even Bentancur, Dyer. I would include that will die for sorry, Fitzy, who just hello to Fitzy in the comments. I think we know, like, as fans, that we've got a few lads that are tough. So, Tiago, apologise to you because I know you're Brazilian, but for me, the likes of Emerson, he's soft. Doherty, useless.
I don't like him either. Don't worry.
I think Winks. I mean, come on. I mean, just give the guy a job in the local barber shop. Jesus, I think we can single them out, lads. But we all know who are going to fight, and I think Conte was kind of saying that, like, he's got a handful of fighters, and the rest of them are just a bunch of proverbials.
Kuva, do you think the same? Do you think he's just talking about the squad in general?
Yeah, I think Aaron's absolutely spot on. I mean, before the transfer windows, I'd have said we have a squad that if we're looking to eventually win the league, which we should be looking to do if we got Conte, make no mistake about it. If we're looking to win the league, I thought we have 4 players that could be in that squad capable of doing that. That's how far behind we are.
Yeah.
Now, I still see 4 players capable of doing it, but I see 3 that could develop into serious rivals for that. That would put 7 players. How many are you going to need for a squad to challenge for the title? Probably about 18 or so. That'd be quite a thin squad, but you could do it. So we're still looking at another 11 players that are either world class or approaching that sort of quality. Very, very top end players, and that's if you're going to challenge for it. So, is that going to happen overnight? No, of course not. How many windows will it take? 6, 7. I mean, we're talking 3 years minimum just to get the players in, and then you've got to factor in the likes of Son, Kane, Lloris. They're going to be retiring before too long. Even the bit part players, Dyer, how old's he now? He's approaching 30, so he'll be mid-30s by the time this is happening. It's a huge job, absolutely huge. And I've just see Conte is calling out the board saying this is what's required. There's no point me turning a blind eye saying everything's good, because it isn't. You need to do something. He has seriously called them out, and I'm so happy about it. I don't care that it's ruffled feathers. I don't care that the players know it as well. The players need to step up. I mean, if they want to be part of the club, they can't be going crying off, oh, Conte said something bad about me. They need to be coming back furiously in training and prove Conte wrong. We'll get somewhere then. Life's been too easy, far too many players. Conte's shaking it up, and I'm all for it.
I think Josh forgot Hugo Lloris in that comment, seeing as he's a World Cup winner himself.
Yeah, and Josh, sorry, I forgot Romero in my mini rant there. So yeah, Romero looks like he's got balls, man. Yeah.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
keep him.
yeah, for sure. I think it was aimed at the players that were on the bench. I mean, and not like, I don't want to say aimed at them, but it was about them. He was saying, I don't have anybody. There's no one to come off the bench. I don't have options. I don't have the tools. Do you blame? Wait, hold on. There's that expression. You blame the artist, not the tools. I don't know. But anyway, that is without
bad workman blames his tools.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but that doesn't really fit here. I don't know. It's just, what if the tools are shit? What if you do have shit tools? What if you're working with?
I see a great workman, and I see an awful lot of tools in this squad.
Yeah, Conte's working with a glass hammer, mate. Trust me, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And what do you do? I mean, you got Winks to come off the bench when that's not good enough.
You could argue it's better to bring the bench on,
or a youth player, like we were saying before. We've got some talented youth. We've seen a lot of the other big teams have to do that as well. Have to, have to put some faith in a youngster or two. And
if this top four dream does evaporate pretty quickly, say we do lose a couple of games quite in quick succession now, and it's over, why not bring in some of those youth players then? What's to lose?
Right.
Let's have a look.
But again, lads, you don't bring them in Burnley away when you're playing in a typhoon, mate.
Time and a place, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're saying only if top four is like mathematically like impossible or something. And you know what I mean? That would be the only way that I would really want that this season. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I don't know what the answer is except for just continuing to move people on as we can and continue to bring players in when we can. And it's just gonna be a process. There's just gonna be a couple of shitty seasons. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully this gets remedied, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And then it just comes down to the fact that who's always holding the purse strings.
Me. I didn't tell you guys, but I'm in charge of the club now.
Right, I thought that was a handbag you were carrying, Holland, not a purse. But
right.
I don't know.
I just want to say quickly about Kuva was talking about the
bunch of money here, so
the thing of
Daniel Levy gave me this to spend.
Players crying because Conte said something, and I totally agree. Why does every time someone makes a comment about the squad, not the whole fan base, but lots of people in the fan base come up with the thing of defending these players? Why is always that we have to feel sorry for these players when they've never stepped up?
Yeah.
Why is it always the manager who's wrong? Why is it never the players when they step up? Ben Davies said in the documentary, why don't clubs give the players 5 years to develop? You bitch, you've been given 8 years. You're still a shit player since you arrived.
You're getting paid tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. Use some of that cash to dry your little tears up and go out and do some bloody work and earn it.
But you can't. But I think that particular comment you made about Ben Davies, I know that he said that in the documentary, but I think that you can't really slate him for anything that he's done since Conte's been here. I think that he's been solid since Conte's arrival.
I agree with you, Colin. Yeah, I think we've seen. Well, I mean, he's done he's at least put in a shift. The way he has done for Wales, he's improved. So whether is he is he
good enough for going forward? No, but he's been a great stopgap and allowed us to maybe.
Would you mind bringing up Josh, the Tottenham guy's comment again, please?
Which one?
It's about 5 comments ago. Josh, the Tottenham guy.
1, 2, 3, 4. This one?
That's the one. That should be the club motto at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think, but I think that other teams have shown that if you have a top quality striker, if you have 2 or 3 top quality players, that you can do things, you can make things happen, and we've done it in the past. And so I don't think that we have. If Kane and Son are on, if Lloris is on, we can do better than we should be able to. You know what I mean? I feel like we can finish in a higher position than maybe we deserve to, based on the whole squad, just due to the fact that we've got a couple of players that are extraordinary. You know.
Yeah.
I'm with Goguma. I've got that deluded mindset that top four is still on. My club motto is ban all cockerels, wear a bunch of chickens.
That's a good
Go
one.
for that. Could go for that.
So, next question is, now this is a hypothetical one. If Antonio Conte leaves, who do we go after for as our next manager? Aaron?
Oh, I
That's
forgot.
the ex-manager. Jesus.
Yeah.
Roy Keane, mate. Someone to boot them up the
Oh
arse.
shit. Okay.
I'm
Cool,
going to
he's
go with
already-
Frankie Boyle.
I don't know who that is. I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
have to
lose.
do
Oh,
it.
you
And
call
those
it-
press
call me.
conferences
Google
would
him.
be so good.
I think Scott Parker probably is would be logical. I think that's what all the teams have been doing lately, is picking up, and I not he's not a club legend, Jesus Christ, but you know what I mean. They're picking players that
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
people that previous players.
I take Ian Holloway just for the press conferences.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just have a bit of fun with it.
Let's get Mito to come back and do it. He seems like he.
Anyone fancy this guy or?
No.
Yeah, I like him. Plays proper football.
How about this one then, Kufa?
Actually, he gets a lot of stick, but he's not actually that bad a manager.
Mari, what's up,
he
man?
knows how to get enough out of a squad that's
Hey,
maybe
Mari.
lacking. And does fit our profile at the moment.
Leeds
Alex
are
Hinton,
going
okay.
to. Leeds are going to.
Sorry, that's just
press.
reading the chat.
Oh no, you're good. But Leeds are gonna.
Steak?
Alex, Mr. Steak. Yeah. Leeds are gonna press us. We're gonna really struggle. Hopefully, we try to just completely bypass the midfield that game. I think that's going to be our best bet, is to go long against Leeds and try to avoid playing through the middle at all.
I think Shamu might have possibly just organised a raid from Irish Hotspur here, because I'm seeing a few names popping up. So,
Shamu, you're the best. Thank you, much appreciated. Again, I wanna just throw out another apology, Shamu. That day we tried to have you on and everything kind of went to shit. Apologies. We got to have you back on the show, brother.
Sure.
It'll definitely go better. It'll definitely go better this next time.
screw Shamu, man. You want to get Bond the Scott on. He makes a lot more sense. Or Bond the Cat, I beg your pardon. Cuba knows what I'm on about, mate. Shamu's kidding. He stole the show last night on Tottenham for Goal, mate.
He did indeed.
He's a good man.
Bomb for manager.
He's a fluffy kitten, brother. I want Rottweilers.
Okay, so next question. We don't really have much time to really go and elaborate, but because this is a very complex point. But if Conte leaves, do you think he will be the bad guy? Do you think the fans will turn on the board and they will say Daniel Levy, or do you think Conte was scared, he ran, he's not professional, he doesn't know his words, and he was scared and he ran away? Aaron?
I think it'll be a bit of both. I think there'll be an increase in people blaming the board. I think there'll be a lot of people jump over to, a lot of people himself, Kuva, Daigle, everybody else, Mr. K, Rez, people who are, pretty much sick of Levy. I think there'll be a lot more people coming on that side. But at the same time, there'll always be other fans that maybe will back Levy and say, well, we've got the wonderful stadium, we've got great training facilities, and where were we, 15 years ago? So it'll be a bit of both, but I do expect a little bit more of a rise or a tide coming towards Levy out. So, yeah. But I don't see him running away, mate. I think he'll stick about until at least after the transfer window in the summer.
Okay. Kuva?
Levy's at fault, without doubt. We shouldn't be in this situation in the first place.
But do you think the fan base will do the same thing they did with I mean, of course, different situations, but do you think people will do the same thing as they did with Jose, or do you think people will
Oh,
go like, yeah, okay, the
there's
time is
always
over?
going to be a section of Spurs fans that have got way too much apathy. They couldn't care less what's happening behind the scenes. They just want to be able to tune in to watch a game and nothing else matters. That's okay. I'm not going to blame them for that. I mean, we've got our lives to live and other interests. Well, some of us. Uh, um, there will be a section of the Spurs fans that believe everything that comes out of the press office, and Daniel Levy can do no wrong. He's the shining knight that's taken the club to the brink of the European, the Champions League, and everything. All the sun shines out of his arse. I mean, people can have their opinion on that if they want, but there comes a point where you start questioning why we always fail every
Yeah.
single time, and who's the common denominator there. Now, you might still back him and say there's reasons for it all, but you're still going to have a look, aren't you? You're still going to start. There's no
He's
smoke
there all
without
the
fire.
time. He's always there.
Mm.
Whenever we fail, Daniel Levy is always there. He's always
Yeah.
the manager that didn't get the players he wanted. He's always Daniel Levy going for the cheap option, or not paying 5 extra million to get Bruno Fernandes, or changing the offer last minute, not getting Grealish. It's
And
always
there's
like
and
this.
there's and there's one thing I'd urge all Spurs fans to do, especially the ones that have watched for over more than 20 years. And I've said this on every channel I go on now. Have a look at our squad with Glenn Hoddle in charge the day Enoch took over, bought out lost to Sugar's shares back in 2001. And you tell me if that's a better squad than we have now. And most people I've asked, well, everybody I've asked so far said, yes, it is. So we've gone basically 20 years of Levy in charge to having a worse squad. It doesn't get any more simple than that.
Murray even came up with numbers, Colin. Levy
I like that.
30%, Board 20%, players 20%, Lewis 15, fans 14, Twitter 1%.
I like that we get some. I'm part. We're all part of the football Twitter at times, and so I like that we get some of the blame too. But no, it's definitely got to be. Levy that gets the blame, and I don't understand how he could be so incredibly stupid. I thought he was a pretty intelligent dude, and I also thought that he had a pretty big ego. And he's going to look so goddamn dumb whenever he loses Conte. To have had at your club Pochettino, who is still a very sought after coach, and I think he's going to be when he leaves PSG. Pochettino, Mourinho, and Conte, and to lose them all in the way that he did, or might. I know that Conte's still here, but if he does indeed lose Conte,
the trouble is there's one overriding factor in everything, and that is the Enoch and Levy MO, which is to make money without putting any risk into the club.
But how are they making money if they keep having to pay out managers like this?
Who really pays it?
When you go on a run, let's say in the Champions League, and you get to the semi-final, right, you make a ton of cash, right? Now, if you win that final, or you get to the final, there's expectations from fans for you to spend more money to, pump back into the team. It's easier for Levy to go on a run in the Champions League than it is for him to win it and have to pump shitload of cash back into that team the following year, because your expectations are so high. Then we want Messi. We just won the Champions League. So it's Kuva. You know more about this than I do. But you can make a shitload of money just going on a run in the Champions League. And to Shamu, stop winding me up. Okay, so the Huns beat Dortmund. Thank you very much. And what was it? Napoli got beaten, man. I love the Gomorrah. So Shamu's just trolling me, mate, in the chat. But cool.
Ireland's greatest financial advisor. I do like that. The ring of that. You're right, Aaron. It's the one thing that's you got to remember at all times is nowhere through their affiliation with the club has ENIC put the hand in their own pocket to finance something, if they do not make a loss on anything, it is always them getting a gain out of something. Anything that's risked is risked, and on based on the property basically. And who pays for that? We do. It's the fans who pay for all this. It's the TV companies paying for it. Levy and Joe Lewis aren't putting their hand in their own pocket. They never will. Because if they do that, then they've just gone against the very reason that they wanted to take over the club, which is to make a fat load of cash off us, make a fat load of cash off the name Tottenham Hotspur while they do their off-field interests. Make no mistake about it, they will never dip into that wallet.
Yeah. Luca made a great comment, and I have to bring this up. I was waiting to bring it up because I will 100% back this. How about for next season, our away kit is the same as Brazil's national team, may fool some of our players into playing better than they are. Wings could be Socrates, Emerson could be Cafu-like. Do it.
Wings could be Socrates. Oh, God.
Do you know what? If they make a Brazil-like kit, I'm going to do just this. Take it. Here. Take it. No, just kidding. I won't.
Socrates was one of my all-time favourite players. Just seeing
the doctor, mate. The doctor, cigarettes and booze, and the doctor, and a footballer. What a legend!
Oh dear.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very, very good. Next question then. Let's say we don't get top 4, which is very likely, and we don't win the FA Cup, which is also very likely. Where does it leave Spurs in the next summer transfer window, which is supposed to be the big one? Aaron?
Well, considering our previous transfer windows, I'd say they'll probably go the exact same way, regardless of where we finish. Because again, Levy is in control. You know, Paratici ain't no miracle worker. I don't even know personally why people call him the Don. I've never overrated, or what I consider to be overrating the guy. I don't really expect anything to change. You know, it's going to be, you know, we get in a few fluffy players and try and turn them into Rottweilers, man. And it's not going to happen. Like, it's just, or we'll hope, like we live in wishful kind of, this hopeful kind of mindset that we're, like, everything's going to be great. Like, but now, mate, like I walk into transfer windows and I turn off the news. Like, I just don't read it anymore. I'm so sick of what happens every transfer window that I've no high expectations for the summer. Like, not with Levy in charge, man. No, not me.
Cool, but before you go, Josh saying how about no Brazil aren't good enough to win anything either. Yeah, we're shit. We just won 5 World Cups more than anyone else. Yeah, we're not good enough to win anything. You know,
Uruguay won 2, but that was in 1930 and 1934. But Brazil's away kit, I'd take the blue and the white one, man. I love that. Yeah.
I mean, for anybody of our generation, Aaron, we're always going to see Brazil as the benchmark for World Cups, aren't we?
Pele is my man, mate. I grew up on Pele videos, VHS, you know what I mean, and stories from my uncle, mate. And Pele, to me, 3 greatest players for me: Pele, Maradona, Paul Gascoigne. That's it.
Samba football and football on the beach and juggling skills, dribbling skills.
Coming back, baby.
That was Brazil.
Coming back.
Yeah, they made that weird shift to having a lot of defensively minded players. It was really strange, and it's stuck for a couple of decades now. Yeah.
But now we're coming back. I mean, we still have very good defenders. I mean, Thiago Silva and Marquinhos are 2 of the best center backs in the world right now. And I'm not saying this because I'm Brazilian. I'm saying this because they have been doing very well for their clubs in Europe. I mean, you see what Thiago Silva is doing for Chelsea at 37. He would walk like 100 times into our starting 11. But we've got some good youngsters going forward. I mean, Anthony from Ajax is brilliant. Rafinha, everybody knows him from Leeds. That guy is simply amazing. Vinicius Junior is tearing up for Real Madrid. We're coming back. I think we're going to win.
Oh my God.
Who was the guy with the short leg who played the same team with Pele back in the 50s? And they reckoned he was better than Pele, but
Garrincha.
I beg your pardon. That's the legend, mate. Yeah.
That guy is. Yeah, No, it was my grandpa. He supported the club that Garrincha played. And actually, I grew up a few kilometers away from where Pelé was born. Like, to go where Pelé was born, I need to go to drive like 15 minutes. It's that close. But I didn't get any of the football quality. Life is unfair. Um,
It's all on
so,
YouTube, mate. You can still appreciate it, yeah. And if you're really desperate, you can watch that Walt Disney movie about Pele growing up. I cried watching
yeah,
it, right? As cheesy as
yeah,
it was.
I
But
haven't watched it
uh,
yet. That's going to be
I
great.
just I just see a name popping up there from Maori, Zico. I think that was one of my earliest
Oh, Zico. Yeah.
World Cups I remember. Was it 82 Zico? I'm gonna have
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
yeah, right,
Boy, could he strike a ball?
yeah. And was it Jersey, not Jersey, or there's a fella who bashed one in against Northern Ireland. I think it was
Josimar.
Josimar. Yeah, mate. Yeah. I'll spot on. Brother.
8 foot long arms celebration. It was yeah. He was a belter as well.
Not someone
Scored
really,
some amazing goals.
someone more from the present, but he was also really good. Shamu brought him up. Kaká. Damn, he was good.
And
AC Milan.
Ronaldo
He-
number 9. What a player that was.
Who, fat Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
with the
there
dodgy
was a
haircut,
point
mate.
where
What a
he
player.
literally could run through the opposition all by himself.
What
It's
about
just-
that one dude, Adriano? He kind of, I know he fell off. And
Oh,
He was
good as
he was
well.
another chunky lad. He was a chunky lad as well.
I would, yeah. He looked like he was going to be the next fat Ronaldo. Like he seemed like he was the exact same kind of a player. He really fell off, unfortunately, but he was
Yeah.
cool. He was a good
There's
one.
some great videos. There's a channel called H. I don't know if I'm allowed to plug another channel.
Yeah,
There's
go
one called
for it.
HITC7s, right? And it's like it's a
Yeah.
huge channel, but if you watch it, and you see like players, there's one they do that like famous players that amounted to nothing, and there's several Brazilian players featured in it, and it's astonishing. Like these guys had so much ability, and I don't know what happened to them. Like they could have been Maradona's, Pele's, Gascoigne's, you know. Well, I guess they probably all fall in the same category, but well, yeah, it's well worth a watch if you want.
Yeah. Is their lifestyle like parties and fancy things? Because they grew up in a favela, and I mean, they didn't have anything fancy when growing up. So when they see everything, they get like, wow, I have money, I can go to parties, I can travel all around the world.
That's Ronaldinho all over that one.
I mean, and speaking of Ronaldinho, anyone would like him, the team, to open up Burnley on Wednesday night. I mean, just check him in there, you know.
I think he could manage that.
Yeah.
Just the 3 or 4 times each half.
Who needs Kaká at AC Milan? We have Diego Maradona, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Did fat Ronaldo grow up in the favela or a Pavlova? Sorry, you say Pavlova's a dessert. Bad joke. Sorry.
Okay, so going back to the question,
He's like, I'm not even gonna acknowledge that.
yeah, nobody disrespect Ronaldo. Man, I mean, my favorite ever player is Juninho Pernambucano. He played for Lyon, the free kick master. My favorite player ever. But in terms of like watching videos, I could watch Ronaldinho all day and I wouldn't be sad about it for a single second. That guy's so good. In terms of pure talent, better than anyone else in history, in my opinion. Better than Messi, better than Pelé, than Maradona. That guy did things nobody else did. But
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he was a lot of fun to watch.
I've got a
For
kind
me,
of
it's
weird
Gascoigne,
hero as
mate.
well.
For me, it's Gascoigne. He's my all-time. He really is, man.
For me, for pure dribbling ability, there was a player for Rangers called Davy Cooper who was absolutely amazing. He used to be able to just run rings around people twice over, and you just couldn't understand how he could get through all these groups of players all the time. Brilliant player, but just didn't have that sort of world renown of a lot of the others.
And then it's Moussa Dembele for me, which is kind of funny, but my favorite ever player.
we're talking about all these Brazilian legends, and then we remember we have Emerson Royal and Spurs. It's just like,
Hey, we got Lucas, Scott M's favorite player. Come on, mate.
Yeah, Scott M. I'm surprised you're not bigging up your dude Lucas in the chat. Maybe you fell asleep.
I know who Butternuts is, by the way. I know exactly who Butternuts is.
Yeah, I think I know who that is as well.
Yeah.
Butternut.
Oh yeah, this free kick is also legendary. Ronaldinho against
Yeah,
England,
yeah.
2002.
Oh man.
Hopefully, someone does it again later this year in the World Cup. Would be really nice to see the tears again. But yeah, going back to Spurs, Kuva. No top four, no FA Cup trophy. What is the position we're in for the summer transfer window, given it's supposed to be the big one?
Well, it'll be no to a lot of things, but one thing it'll definitely be a yes will be the excuses of why we're not going to spend very much money, which we get every time. Well, what will it be this time? COVID, lack of COVID restrictions.
Yeah, no, it'll be the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, the Ukraine, yeah.
Right.
Putin will stop us spending money because bullets, tanks, yeah,
right.
Colin?
So perhaps cosmic alignment as well. Never underestimate cosmic alignment.
I think we'll be looking for a striker, a top tier striker, if we don't get top four of the FA Cup, because I think Kane will.
Colin, we've been looking for a striker for how many years?
No, we haven't. I don't believe that. I don't believe that we've actively been looking, because there's been tons of them on the market.
If we're looking
with our eyes closed, and we're not, feeling around very well. And what I was saying though is I think Kane is off, or will push hard to leave if he does not. If we don't get top four or
sorry, all my trolls are in the chat today. Eric Moonwood Steyer's in there. Josh, piss off, mate. That's Josh, yeah. Right, okay.
Josh.
I think if we do end up having to sell Harry Kane for whatever reason, I mean, whether it's an offer that comes in that's too good to turn down and it makes financial sense, or whether he wants out of the club or something, which I'm not entirely sure of. But if we do have to sell him, the one good thing, Colin, you don't have to worry, because we will be able to go anywhere in the world, look at any player and offer that club substantially less than they're asking for and get told no.
Yes, we'll be able to ask for the top players and not get them. It'll
don't worry, lads. We've got Troy Part and Dane Scarlett. Lads, we're sorted. We're
good on the striker front. We should move to another position. Maybe actually, we need a goalkeeper.
Wingbacks. We need wingbacks on both sides. Definitely. Yep. Creative midfielder, top quality center backs, especially a left-footed one, because we only have Davies. So at least someone to rotate with him.
Doesn't one Joseph Rodon play with his left foot?
No, he's right-footed.
I didn't know he even played.
He
doesn't play at all.
He must have been no-footed.
His grandmother died today, I saw. So rest in peace to Joe's grandma.
I saw this.
Rest in peace to his grandma.
Simone is
Yeah.
So now the question that Colin was really excited, because he worked hard on this. Okay, is Conte?
Was that what you spent 7 hours, Colin? When you told me you were doing 7-hour university project, was that all you came up with? Is Conte?
Yep, that was it. Like, what rhymes with Conte? And then I slept on it, and then I woke up today, and I was like, Conte! It's Conte. It's Conte. No, but I mean, do you think he's going to leave this summer, you guys?
Do I think he's going to leave in the summer?
Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah, this summer. You do?
We will fail to live up to promises, and we'll underinvest again. We'll be left dangling again with no signings coming in quick enough. Conte will just think, you know what, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, agreed. Honestly, I agree.
Mostly, so he's got time to get into another club. And
why would he ever come to Spurs? I don't think he's I don't think Levy's that good of a con artist. I don't think that Conte's that dumb.
I think Levy spun him a nice little yarn from his PR department to convince him in because he was that desperate. There's nothing else makes sense. Why would Conte want to put the brakes on his career otherwise?
Well, I mean, he didn't have to take any job. He could have just held out until a better job became available. So why even come to? I don't know. It all doesn't quite click in my head. I can't really make sense of
What
it.
does this club always do? We're great at spinning bullshit. We can spin at the pro level. We are world class when it comes to spin. So anything out of the press office, pull the wool over as many people's eyes as possible. Make out like everything's great. I mean, there must be like little showcase reels out there where Emerson looks good that we produced.
Oh man, that makes me mad what Josh put because we had one of those players. One of those players came from Spurs youth, and then the other player was the player we were going to get when we signed Aurier instead. So
yeah. Oh yeah, Pereira definitely.
Yeah, we were looking at him. It was either him or Aurier. I remember that very, very, very clearly. And
I love Ten Hag, but I would still prefer Conte.
I'd love 20 Hags, but lads, come on. Conte's going to stick about, right? He's going to he's going to stick about and see what happens in the summer, right? And he'll probably give it a couple of months. And if it ain't working out, if the transfers that we get this summer aren't good enough, then he'll walk. So I predict if things go badly with the summer, he'll be gone maybe by October, November. That's what I reckon.
I think whoever it is that does come in as well, I think they're either going to have to be somebody that's exceptional at working with youth team players, because we're not going to be buying a team in, or it's going to be somebody that is used to working with absolute nobodies. So perhaps from lower divisions, perhaps a Chris Wilder or something that did such a great job at Sheffield United. He had absolutely nobody players, and he had them playing great football.
He did with a weird system too. But
creative.
Maybe Ryan Mason can come back
anyway, because we're not going to get a big name, are we? If Conte goes and everybody sees we don't.
Wait, is Ryan Mason not a big name to you?
I don't like to criticise him too much because I mean he's only just out of his nappies basically, isn't he?
Finally, someone's sticking up for Ryan Mason. I thought I was the only one. Lads, come on, he got a belting, man.
I love the dude. I love the guy. I love him. And the goal he scored against, I think it was Forest. He scored a pretty sick goal.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah,
look,
it was awesome.
You know, when you're asked to step in, right, and you're in his position, and you're a young fella who's lost his career through injury, and he loves the club, grew up in the club, and you're given that responsibility, you know, you got to give the lad respect for doing that. Now, you know, and I admire him for it, and he did what he could do. And unfortunately, he did trust in players that he grew up with in the academy, and that, you know, for the final.
Down a bit. Yeah.
I just thought he got a really horrific pelting from fans. I thought people were really roughing a 29-year-old kid, man.
I think that he's mentally tough enough to handle it. I don't think it bothered him any. I think there always are going to be some like shithead Jewish bag fans that you know what I mean are overly critical of everything, but I think that he's probably, as a former player himself, thick enough skinned, you know what I mean, to be able to handle it.
Well, he's already overcome much bigger problems in his life, hasn't he?
You're 100% right. There's Mari already giving him trouble, saying he's not going to forgive. I'm not going to forget what he did. Not care about cup final.
Mari, the guy was 6 days in the job, and he's 29 years old. Come on.
I mean, to be fair, Alex has a point here. Mason has a better win percentage than Klopp and Pep.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Sherwood. How is he against Tim Sherwood?
Better.
I'm sure of it, yeah. Hang on, Tim Sherwood created Harry Kane. You got to give him respect for that, you know.
And his win percentage too. I mean, was A1.
Well, he's another one called out the players, didn't he? He was quite right to.
Yeah, except for he put a lot of trust and faith into Emmanuel Adebayor, which was kind of weird. Remember
He
their
got-
weird.
he got him playing,
Don't
though,
mention that. Don't mention his name, man.
He
Dim
played well
Tim,
under
by the way.
Sherwood, though, didn't he?
Oh, Dim Tim.
Um,
He played well when he was, there.
Tactics, Tim. You mean you're not putting enough respect on Tim Sherwood's name here. He was a manager. He's the manager of our generation. Tactics.
Have you seen him on Sky Sports, mate, when he's doing that panel show? Dim Tim.
I hate
Right.
whenever I hate the people they pick to represent Spurs sometimes. Like they pick him as like the Spurs voice on things.
So
I'm
we
like,
got Jamie O'Hara representing us, lads. We're fine.
Yeah,
We're fine.
right.
See,
right.
again, I don't really want to pick on Tim Sherwood too much because when he was with us as a player, he did really well for us. We had a
Yeah.
crappy team,
Yeah,
and
he did.
he was a
But-
proper captain for us.
But isn't he an Arsenal fan?
Doesn't matter when you play a player. You just play with whoever wants you.
Oh, no, I know, but that just makes me dislike him like now, I guess.
Yeah, but Roy Keane was a
Easy
Spurs fan,
excuse,
mate.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, is it really relevant who you support when you were a kid?
True.
Excellent. Okay, so last question because we're already over 2 hours and we don't want to go much over that. Very quickly, what to expect of the team against Leeds? Do you think it's going to be another gutless performance? Do you expect it's going to be a win? If you guys want to give predictions already as well, you can. Like, we're going to win 5-0 or we're going to lose 5-0. I don't know. What will Conte do? Aaron, you up first?
A very open game, and I'm going to again Gogoma. I myself and Gogoma tend to agree a lot. We'll bounce back. I'm going for a 4-2 win to us. It's going to be a spicy game. It's going to be kimchi. It'll be fire. It'll be end to end, and we're winning 4-2. Optimistic delusion.
As delusional as this, 17 new Spurs, deluded till I die. Lloris's hat trick is still on.
Oh yeah, hat trick of flying inverted Rabonas from the halfway line.
From Lucas Moura just for Scott M.
Emerson will score a hat trick as well.
Don't be silly now.
Now you're being crazy.
He's not gonna score a hat trick. He's gonna score 5 goals.
Do Lewandowski 5 goals in 9 minutes, mate, or something. Yeah.
It's funny Aaron said 4-2 because I was going to go for a 4-3 for us.
Oh man,
one of those I see it being a crazy game. Leeds can't defend. We're not exactly doing great neither. We're fall apart on the press, Leeds press, but they can't keep clean sheets. It's still going to wild. If Kane and Son are on form and Decky's feeling up for it as well, there's goals in us. We aren't going to keep them out at the other end either, though. They'll just overload our fullback areas and make their goals out of that. Rafinha's a fantastic player. Fancy him to get a goal or two.
I want him to be injured for that game because I cannot watch him play against us. Because I love that. Like, it's not only because he's Brazilian, but as you said, he's just so good.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's just so talented. That guy, imagine that guy playing for us. That's I can't do it to myself. No, I need to erase him from my memory because
I think he's going to be one of those sort of 80 million, 100 million players.
Yeah.
Who's I blanked out. I was reading the comments for a second. Who is
Rafinha?
Oh, okay. What about Anthony? Anthony? How do you pronounce his name? The guy that's at Ajax. He's gonna be the same. I think he's better. I think he's better than Rafinha already, but that's just my opinion.
Whenever you stick Inya onto the end of a player's name, their value increases by about 15 million, mate. Right. Yeah. Just call him Raf or something, mate.
Yeah, and I need to teach people how to say the name because it's not Rafinha, it's Rafinha. Like, do you know the N with the little wave?
Hey, this is like this. I went to Italy one time, and every time I asked for directions anywhere, the people would just stop me and be like, and then like correct my pronunciation, and I'm like, no, I don't care. I just want to know how to get there. And Tiago, I couldn't tell the difference between the two things that you just said. Say them again. Say it slower.
Rafinha, Rafinha.
Yeah.
I get really frustrated when I hear people mentioning Japanese players' names because it drives me up the wall. Takahiro Tomiyasu, not Taki Tommy. You know, like it drives me up the wall. But there we go. Anal pedantic people,
Well,
obviously.
Irish names as well, Aaron.
Well, my name Alan
What do
McDougall.
you say, Doherty?
Alan Podrak McDougall. Good luck with that one, brother.
Well, it's on our team. The guy that plays on our team, his name is really actually is.
Doherty,
Like,
Doherty.
it's
I
not.
don't know.
It's not Dr.
There's no C. There's no C involved. There is a
Doherty.
name called Doherty, but that's different spelling. So our fella is Doherty.
Doherty, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And
also,
Kuva, you pronounce that Kuva.
Well, Doherty.
No, I meant Kuva. That's how you pronounce your name, Kuva.
No, it's a silent K.
Huva.
All right.
Cuba.
No, that's not how you pronounce it, though.
Yuva.
No, that's not how you
Okay.
pronounce it. No, the UVA bit, that's pronounced with a K.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Just
All right.
confusing you. Well,
Yeah,
Okay.
the linguistics, brother.
You didn't tell me-
Fucked it, man.
Yeah, honestly,
Good.
but this is about NHA in the end. Everybody does it. My nickname is Tiaguinho.
Shaggy?
Tiaguinho.
Tiagin.
Tiaguinho.
Tiaguinho.
Tiaguinho, yeah.
Tiaguinho. I can get the
It's like
Tiagi because that's similar to Japanese, and then I just put a nyo at the end, which is also a
Yeah.
Japanese character. Tiaguinho.
Yeah, it's like little Tiago. It's like Coutinho.
All right.
Rafinha is little Rafael or something. And it's not Firmino. It's Firmino. Fabinho, not Fabinho. You guys need to learn how to speak Portuguese, man.
There's some great.
Ben
There's,
I'm
Davisinho.
done. What?
Ben Davisinho.
No.
Bendinho. Get it right, Kuva. Bendinho.
Yo,
Benzene.
There's some great comments in the chat, by the way, popping up there.
there really are some good ones.
I saw. Actually, would be Canezinho. We would probably say Canezinho. Winksinho.
Harzinho.
Harzinho, yeah. Alex was almost right. If you change the A for the O, it's right. Winksinho. Then, let's see.
Yeah.
And now we have Cody Max saying shag me now. But I don't know what the hell is going on.
He's begging for a ride, mate. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Well, I like this one. Leave it for now.
That is a good one.
He forgot to put W at the end of no. He's saying shag me now, mate. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
He's talking to Kuva.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
That'll be it.
Cody, you're married. Remember that.
Oh,
He's an awful
Very
flirt,
good.
though, Cody. You know.
Yeah, it's a marriage. Just a bit on the side. That's fine.
butter it.
Get a hall pass for the weekend and
Butternuts, I know you
Oh,
are
man.
truth sets free. Yeah, big noob. Who else has he been? The dirty sock, the lucky sock. I gotta say, he's funny. He's witty.
I don't know what my nickname is.
I wonder.
Please put in the chat. Actually, like people, the only people that call me Tiaguinho is my mom and my brother. All of my friends call me Tizão. Like Tizão is like everybody. Tizão. It's not even Tiago. Whenever someone says Tiago, like, why are you mad at me? What did I do? Like it's Tizão. So, yeah.
So-
Cuba.
Tiago.
Shag me no. It's
Yeah. What do you
Tiago.
expect of the team against Leeds? How many? Oh my God! Shagminho.
You got the end. You got the. Yeah.
He's got the what do you call it? We call it an apostrophe in Ireland, or an umlaut in German, or whatever. What's that when you have a little line over the N in Spanish or Portuguese? I beg your pardon.
We call it chew.
Shoot.
Chew. Yeah. But we don't use it over the N. We use it only over the A and the O. The over the N is only Spanish.
And
In
welcome to the
Portuguese, it's
Professor of
NA.
Linguistics show, ladies and gentlemen.
Right,
It's,
I know this is we've covered quite a few topics. Kind of, this has been an educational show. So if you've stuck through, you've learned a couple things. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Someone will still learn how to speak Portuguese. That's my goal, to make some Spurs fan from Europe learn how to speak Portuguese. I need
well,
this.
we do have Portugal here, so in Europe.
That's true. That's very true. All right, but so can I say what I'm gonna can I say what I expect for Sleets?
No.
Oh wow.
No.
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 No. It's none. In Portuguese,
No,
it's none.
no Nino. No Nino. So here's my prediction. 3-5-2. Kane and Son up.
Is that the score?
Goals. Bloody hell.
3-5-2. Kane and Son up top. 2 goals from Son, 1 goal from Kane, and then we'll get 3-1. 3-1 Spurs win, and we'll line up in a 3-5-2, and Kuleveski will play in the middle in that midfield, and our wingers will be Bergvine and Lucas. Wait, wingers? We don't have wingers in the 3-5-2. I'm on drug, but that was being crazy. Yeah, I don't know, but I still think 3-5-2. I think Kane and Son will both score. And I think that Kulu will play in midfield. And that's all I know.
Yeah.
That's radical, mate. Go to the skateboard park.
I think we're going to be playing with a flat back 4 of all centre backs. No fullbacks at all. We'll have Doherty in a free role where he can just cruise anywhere he likes on the pitch, just to see if he
Ireland's
can do
number
something
10.
somewhere. Just I don't know, tread on people and I don't know, stick his armpit in people's faces, that sort of stuff. Just shithouse.
I wonder.
All over
We should just have every single one of our players piss their pants right at the start of the game. Then none of the Leeds players are going to want to come near him to defend him.
Totally shit their pants, vomit,
covered in piss. Yeah,
just go for it. Every orifice just bursting content out all over the place.
Yes. That's what I mean.
Oh dear.
You got to do what you got to do.
Go for it. Okay. So flat back 4 of all centre backs with Rodonino coming in as
Rodon.
I thought he was going to say rodent, or as in rodent. Rodent as in
Rondinho.
Rodinho.
Rodentino.
Rodho. No, we don't go there. Then we're gonna have a flat. No, then we'll have a defensive midfield quartet as well in front of them, and that's probably going to have to be all the same players because we're running out now. And then just whoever else turns up is fit, just throw them on and say, go and do something up front. Let's not bother with tactics. They seem to let us down all the time. Let's just get on the pitch and misbehave. Just look to shithouse everybody all the time.
We need Lamella to come in and be coach.
Yeah.
Lamella should manage this team if Conte leaves. He'll get us playing the way that we want the team to play.
That's an outrage for Tiago or Tiaguinho. He doesn't like Argentinians.
Tiago. Yeah.
Or we could name a squad like a day in advance. Just completely rotate the entire squad. Galini in, Doherty in, all the misfits can go straight in the team. Name that in a day in advance, and then just be an hour before kickoff, put in the same team as we put out last time.
Yeah, why don't? I mean, there's no rule against that, is there? Leaking a fake,
Probably.
leaking a fake like team sheet, and then surprising them with an actual. Because I mean, they do that. They do that with. They do it with injuries.
Leak that Conte has walked out on the club, and Ryan Mason's taken over. Ryan Mason steps off the team coach, and then Conte bursts out afterwards, going, "Surprise, bitches!"
With a guitar. He's playing. He's actually playing the guitar, and he's like shredding and like.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, that would be sick.
That works.
Okay.
Well, realistically, lads, same back 3/5 with Emerson out, Doherty in. Højbjerg obviously is going to be in there. With Bentancur and Skippy out, we're gonna be playing Winks, and then it'll be the same. It'll be Sonny, Decky, and Harry up front. And I reckon Doherty be in, and unfortunately Winks will be playing too.
Hey, I think Decky's going to get a goal. He was so damn close with a couple of those left-footed shots.
He'll get more space. He'll have a lot more space corner against Leeds, man. You know,
and he can put him. He can place them so well. And I know that everybody knows exactly what he's going to do, Iron Robin style. But like, I think that one of those left-footed shots to the keeper's bottom right, I think one of those is going in.
It'll be all right. Winks definitely coming in to shore up the midfield and keep it tight.
Yes, we needed him.
Tough as nuts, that guy. Tough as nuts, mate.
Midfield
I wouldn't fuck with him. He could do whatever he wanted. You know, if he wants to have his way with my wife,
you know,
I mean, I wouldn't. I couldn't stop him. He's too strong.
Colin, tone it down, brother. Your wife might be listening, man. But lads, in fairness, Winks might actually have a good game considering he's going to get a bit more space and a bit more time. And same for Kulusevski. It's going to be a completely different game to Burnley. It really is. So
yeah, because Winks is always so composed when he's put under pressure on a press, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, he's composed in the barber shop and he's getting his hair done and all that. So yeah, hopefully he can carry it over onto the pitch. Lads, I'm telling you, Winks and Kulusevski will have a decent game, and we'll.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No. After you, Tiago, sir.
Lucas saying we could just say we're going to select the Tottenham ladies. They're in third place in the league. I would 100% have them over our team right now. Honestly. They're playing much better football. They're in third place.
Tiago, I have my granddaughter, and she's going to be 3 next week over half the Tottenham players at the moment. And by the way, next week, you all got to sing happy birthday to my granddaughter because I told my daughter that you're all going to sing it. So, sorry for putting you in the spot. But
no, I love to sing, so don't even worry. You're good. I'll do it.
Cool.
It'll be beautiful.
Not the way you boys sing, but sure. Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of the stream. Now, Kuva, where can everyone find you?
Free agent. I'll just go where I feel like it now.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's amazing.
I'll just go to the streams where I enjoy the people on them. So that's what.
That's a compliment. You're complimenting us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Well, missing Aaron Dub. Aaron's not in the channel, but everybody can find him streams as well. Right.
He doesn't even have a Twitter.
Dude, you can find me just causing trouble here and there, and you can. But if there's something I have to big up, it's Bond the Cat Instagram, the new mascot of Tottenham Tantrum Gold, and that's another channel that's terrific. So if you want to learn your history and get back to the roots, Tottenham Tantrum Gold, and support the boys.
Boom.
Yeah, Tottenham Tantrum Gold's always my launch pad anyway. It's where it all started. So yeah, big up to them, and definitely Shamu's cat Bon is major up and coming star now.
Oh man, I'm gonna check him out. I love cats.
Yeah.
Named after John Bon Jovi, not.
And I was
Bon
gonna say,
Scott from AC/DC.
if you've heard my cat rap, you would know I love cats. It's on this channel. Just look for the cat rap.
And before we go, I just wanted to say a very quick thing, because I think that not positioning yourself is also a way of putting your position out there. And given everything that's happening in the world, I think it's only fair I say we stand with Ukraine. Peace is going to win. Peace is going to win. We're going to get through this. The best thing to happen will happen. There's not going to be a war, and Ukraine will be a free, independent country, because you don't invade a country just like that. So we stand with them. We're praying for them, praying for the entire world that peace just reigns over everyone, because it's already been 2 very shitty years with the pandemic. A world war is exactly what we don't need now. So let's pray everything gets resolved as quickly as possible. To everyone
Tiago,
in
could I just
yeah,
Tiago,
sure.
sorry, but just one thing I'd like to add to that, and I don't want to bring it down to a serious note because I prefer to have fun. But 3 weeks ago, the Russian Navy were practicing military drills off the Irish coastline, and yeah, and we don't have an army, we don't have a naval fleet, so we're a little bit shitting it at the moment. But there you go, mate.
The queen will protect you. The queen's got your back, too. Don't worry about that. She'll send her navy to protect you guys.
Yeah.
As Dermot likes to say it, the Gardair will be seeing them off.
The fucking Gardaí, mate. Yeah, all right. We'll keep that for DGG, right?
And then to really change things up, I don't know if you guys remember a game show that used to be on this channel. It was called Keeper West Ham. I've been talking with the host of that show, Buck Funkley. It's coming back. The show's had a name change. It's now called Spurned. It's
Even I didn't know about this.
Ooh.
some slightly
That's some sexy naming. Yeah.
Spurned, and there's some slight rule changes, but it's gonna be something really special, and it's coming back next week. So be on the lookout for that. We also have a PayPal if you want to donate to the channel, because we don't have enough subscribers to do super chats and that kind of cool shit. So right there at the bottom, PayPal/TalkingBall, PayPal.me/TalkingBall, and then also, God, we got Patreon too. When did we do that? What the heck?
You do?
Yeah, we've got Patreon now, so you can become a Patreon member. There's merch. We've got Talking Ball bracelets that are pretty dope, and also an exclusive shirt celebrating Bergvine's comeback goals against
I need
Leicester.
this bracelet.
And
I
so
get one for free, right? I'm part of the channel. Mine is
yeah,
free, right?
yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, the shirts. So the shirts go to the first 5 Patreon members because they are like limited run exclusive shirts. But yeah, just check out the Patreon stuff. It's down there. It's pretty cool. And yeah, next week game show will be back. It's gonna be Friday. I'll get back with everybody on the time. Got to talk to Buck about that. But yeah, so just big things coming for the channel. We're growing every day. I think we're at 166 subscribers. So yeah, tell all your friends. Just
Let's get to 200.
Let's get to 200, man. With that, I think we'll end it. Big love to everybody that watched today. Thank you all so much. Big up to everybody in the chat. Without you guys, we'd be talking to ourselves, and that's kind of weird. So I'll close with that, and Levy out.
Come on, you Spurs. Enoch out.
Levy.
Yeah. Fuck Enoch.